everyone. Welcome to another episode of That's Never Happened Before. What's up? I don't know. That's like one of the more like exciting ways that I have said it. Enthusiastic ways, I guess you could say. Hi, I am Kungfufruitcup, and this is a show here on GDQ Hotfix all about glitches and speedrunning. We bring on runners who are very apt at their games, high on the leaderboards, etc., who have a lot of knowledge about the games that they run, because we get them on to help break down and explain the glitches you can see all over the speedrunning community in all kinds of games. We include heavy multi-part glitches or even just unintended strats, all kinds of fun things like that that we find really, really interesting, and you don't often get enough time to hear about at like a main stage GDQ event or as you see somebody doing PB attempts. So this is a really fun platform for that. So today, hi everyone, hi. Hey, good to see you. Today we have Oddme here on the show, who is here to break down some Super Mario Galaxy 1 glitches and also other strats related to that. What's going on, Oddme? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Kung Fu. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, good.
I'm
glad to hear that.
To show off this game because it's definitely got some stuff in it in regards to glitches and skips, mostly with gravity.
Yes.
As you'll see.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, gravity is going to be a huge factor here. And it's also not the only Mario game that's pretty broken. Obviously, we have multiple Mario games that are broken in all kinds of different ways. We have Odyssey on the show, but this is only our second Mario game I've had on the show. And I'm like, we were literally just talking about Mario Sunshine, and I'm like, wow, we clearly need to find more Mario games to have on. It's just some of them, maybe they're so short or they're just present in different ways that like, we need more Mario here. So here we go today. Oddme, you might recognize if you watch the 602s. Oddme's super, super good at that. And so just has a wealth of knowledge about multiple of Mario 3D games. But yeah, here tonight for Mario Galaxy 1. So I wanted to ask, within the whole 602 Mario Galaxy, everything like that, like what drew you to wanting to run all these games and then expand that into dominating the 602 world?
That's one way of putting it. The main thing that definitely got me into it was for speedrunning in general, it was Topol's Mario Sunshine run back in 2013 on GDQ. That was like the big thing for me, and it got me started on Sunshine. And then about half a year later, it was about a couple months after I started, I saw 360 Chrism do the 602 back when he was like top dog and he was just destroying everybody. I was like, I want to do that. So I started playing 64 a few months after I saw that in about early 2015-ish. And then a few months later, I picked up both of the Galaxy games at around the same time. I had always wanted to run Galaxy 2 in particular, because that's always been my personal favorite. Galaxy 1, I wouldn't say it was an obligation. Like, I was still excited to run it, but it was a lot more just so I could do the 602, because you do have to do it, and all of these games at the same time. It's a very daunting task, but I eventually did it. I believe the first time I attempted the 602, my estimated time was 32 hours. I did not finish. And then a year after that, I did finish my first 602, which was about 23 hours. And then I just kept playing because these games are just so fun to run compared to any other speed game.
Yeah.
And then I just went on.
Well, so when you say that, like, what do you think draws you then the most to, I guess Mario 3D games? Like, you say they're more fun. Like, what elements of that do you think stand out to you?
It's mainly just like the raw movement for me, especially with a game like 64 or Sunshine, which I personally think has the best movement of any video game, which is definitely a big statement to make, but I love Sunshine's movement.
Hot take.
Galaxy's definitely more limited on the movement, but the skips make up for it. There's a lot of cool stuff to do in this game, and there can be some pretty tough movement stuff in both Galaxy games, actually, but a lot of it is way more focused on the skips, but I just like going fast. Like, it's literally just, I like doing things really fast, so Mario really appeals to me in that way.
Yeah, I think platformers lend themselves really well to that. You just feel, because they're so movement-based, because it's not like you're sitting through RPG tactics, or, kind of like story dumps, things like that. Platformers are you just go. So you really feel more of the fluidity of the movement throughout, because that's the majority of what you're doing the whole time. So it makes sense. That's why, I enjoy running the games that I do. And I love watching platformers because it's so constant. So it makes total sense to me.
Yeah, I have dabbled
Yeah.
in some non-Mario games. My most recent one actually being Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I did have world record in the all Waddle Dees category at some point.
Oh, nice! I didn't realize you had a Waddle Dees.
Yes, I
That's
did.
super cool.
That
I love running
that
any
was a pretty
percent.
fun game for a short time, but then Mario just came back. I came crawling back to Mario like always. But I've
Well, if you do Mario, I would say Kirby. It feels a lot like a Kirby version of like a Mario 3D World, for example.
Yeah, I've also ran Sonic Adventure 2 and Celeste, both a bit on and off. Celeste was kind of a one-time thing, but I like going back to SA2 more eventually.
Yeah. Also fun. Just fast speed
Very,
platforming.
very fast.
It's great. Yes, I know. That's what I love about it too. But then I love the Chow Garden. Anyway. So we're here tonight to focus on Mario Galaxy 1 as we go along through this like glitch showcase, because we're going to be like skipping around throughout parts of this game. It's kind of one of the longer speed runs, so Admi has like save files and things ready to go. So we won't be starting from like the very beginning of the game, but more so when you start getting into like some of the skips and things. But as we go along, feel free, as always, to ask questions in the chat. I'll be looking up here to keep track of you all and see if you have anything you want to ask. And I'm sure Admi might have an eye on it too, but you know the drill at this point if you've been watching for this long. Otherwise, I'm going to hand it off to you, Admi. Thanks for like giving us some background and let's like get into the meat of the content.
No problem. Thanks for having me on. So before we actually get started, I do want to make note of a couple things. So the first thing is
Sure.
I am playing on the Switch version on 3D All-Stars, so you'll see me using Joy-Cons, and I'll be recentering the pointer a lot. This doesn't really matter too much for like the movement and stuff, but if you're ever curious why the pointer just kind of jolts, it's just because there's a recenter button and no sensor bar. And the other thing is I will be playing as Luigi, because he is the much preferred brother to play as in this game. He makes a lot of skips easier than if you played as Mario, and some skips Mario can't even do. So Luigi just way better for showing off stuff like that. So this is gonna be a Luigi showcase.
This is how it's usually run as Luigi in the 602 as well, right? Yeah. Right. Cool. Good to know. Sweet. Well, feel free to do a countdown whenever you're ready and like take us through.
All right. I am ready when you are. So let's get the countdown going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yay.
Okay, so the first major skip here is I'm actually going to be talking to Toad here to get some lives, because I will be dying a lot, most likely. Because if you're playing as Luigi, he gives you 20 lives as soon as you start the file, so I will be playing on a completed file just so I can jump between the levels, because if you're playing on a brand new file, this is an extremely linear game, so I'm going to have to play through the slow parts to get to like all the skips and stuff, but we're going to be starting in the terrace, very first world of this game, essentially. And we'll actually be going to a pretty early stage, which is Good Egg Galaxy. And I'll be going to start 2 because this is our first pretty decently sized skip here.
Okay.
So once we actually get in there, there's a lot of downtime between these stars. So for this skip, I'm just going to go over here. And the main goal of this star is to get a bunch of star bits and feed a hungry Luma. But the main thing we're going to be showing off is right here with this Luma. So the main way you're supposed to do this star is to go all the way up these stairs, and there's a blue Luma all the way over here, and you want to talk to him, and it will spawn some pole stars to take you to that launch star right there. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do something entirely different, and it all has to do with this yellow Luma. So there's 2 different types of ground pounds in this game. There's normal one where you just press Z, and then there's another one called a homing ground pound where you spin and then do a ground pound right after. And we're going to be doing that to bonk this Luma on the head and shoot straight into the launch star. So you just line up right here, face to the right, and then once I'm going to backflip, and then once I'm lined up with the Luma, I'll just do a homing ground pound and he'll shoot me right into the launch star.
So is there like a specific angle you need to be on or no?
It's pretty lenient. You just face to the right and stand about here, and once you get like to about his left side, you just do it. And ideally, if you just like hold straight down, he'll shoot you right in there. So
awesome.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Just like that.
Oh, nice. Okay. So would you say that that's like something that if somebody at home wanted to like try some stuff out, maybe they want to like pick up this game, that's a good...
Oh yeah, that's definitely one of the first things you can learn.
Cool.
A lot of the
Nice.
skips in this game are pretty beginner friendly. I'm actually gonna... I can't show the entire star because I did not get a bunch of star bits, but there is a little minor like cycle that you can make on the last planet here. But unfortunately, you do need a bunch of star bits to get there. So we're just gonna move into the next level because that is a much bigger skip than the one I just showed off.
Yeah, for sure.
So Honey Hive, this is the extremely infamous skip. This one, most of these skips actually have been around for an extremely long time. In fact, most people don't even know who found a lot of these skips. A lot of them are very anonymous. There are some that do have the people who discovered them that I will be crediting once we get there. But here in Honey Hive Galaxy, I'll be doing the very first star, and we're essentially going to be skipping the whole, like, just the entire level. So basically, the normal way to do this is you have to go all the way up here and go over there and, like, take a bunch of stuff with the bee mushroom, and just, it's very boring and slow, and we're speedrunners, so we're gonna go the other way. Hello, bee. So, one minor glitch, actually, that I'll be showing off as I go up here is called slope running, or slope spinning, slope jumping. There's a bunch of different things you can call it.
Right.
But the main thing that it just involves running up a slope and constantly shaking. Again, extremely easy, just like a lot of stuff in this game. So you just run up a slope, and normally, if you run on it for too long, he'll just slide down. But if you constantly spin, he'll just keep walking without fail. And this is actually something that they patched in Galaxy 2, along with slope jumps, which I'll be showing once we get up to this big tree right here, because that's going to be where we do the huge skip.
Okay, gotcha. And do you have other things that you do in like Galaxy 2 to make up for that? You say?
I don't really think so, because there's not a whole lot of places where you would need to do slope jumps, unless you're like really trying to save yourself from a death, which if you're in Galaxy 2 and that happens, you just gotta take your death. But with Galaxy 1, you can actually save it a lot of the time. Yeah, there's some cool movement here to just skip our way to the top. Like this backflip right here to get right up to these two planks here. And this is where the real big skip comes in. So once we get up on this tree here, we're actually going to jump from here all the way to this other tree, and you can actually see all the toads up there having a good time, and that's where the star is. And normally if you do the level and you go all the way around, you'll see that planet right there with the queen bee. You have to climb all over and get all the star chips and stuff like that, and that actually takes you to that tree where the toads are. But we don't like doing that because that's really slow, so we're just going to jump on a tree and skip straight to it.
So how do you do, like, what's the timing for the jump and like the Luma spin, I think, off of walls to make sure you don't attach for too long and slide down, or like, what would you say?
Well, essentially for wall slides, they're actually like, the timing on them is a lot more lenient than something like SM64, where you have only about 4 or 5 frames to wall kick, because once you slide, you slide, so you can just wall kick whenever you want. One thing to keep in mind though is when you're playing as Luigi, in my case, I'm on Switch, so I'll just be referring it to the Joy-Cons, but if you're on a Wii, for example, if you shake the nunchuck, he actually goes higher when he spins. It's kind of hard to tell. It's a bit of a minor change, but...
Than Mario would.
Yeah, and if you're playing as Mario, actually, if you spin the Wiimote or the right Joy-Con, he actually goes higher. It's really bizarre, but a neat little thing that makes Luigi more unique. Alright, so, Honey Hive 1 skip, as it's called. A lot of these names are very creative, I know. It's basically just going to be called the level and then skip right after it. We're gonna...
Okay.
we're gonna...
You know what, that makes it easy for us.
We're actually gonna wall kick off this part of the tree here. It's kind of hard to see because the camera can be weird. Take some...
Looks like... This looks like it would be a Luigi only,
Yeah,
right?
Mario can actually do this, except it is way harder. In fact, the very few times I have done a run as Mario, I actually don't do the skip because it's just way harder.
To try to hit that tree,
And this is where slope jumps come into play. I'm going to try to balance myself while I'm explaining it. But essentially, if you just jump and face the direction you're sliding and then you keep spinning backwards, you can climb a slope pretty much infinitely. You can also do a ground pound to land faster and just climb slopes a bit faster, but that's the main thing we're going to do for this skip here. We're going to slope jump all the way towards the top of this tree, and then we're going to change direction and just go all the way towards that one and do a really precise wall kick.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it from scratch because the camera can kind of funky.
Sounds good. And then we have a couple of questions, some silly ones and some legit
right.
ones,
Okay, the camera is really bothering me here. Hold on. All right, adjust this. Galaxy's camera is way less free than Sunshine and 64, I'd say. It's really only limited to about 4 directions, but this is Honey Hive 1 skip. I'm gonna slide here, get a ton of speed.
Oh, so you get speed
then you
from...
walk it off
Oh my gosh.
this tree, and as you can see, we have completely skipped the entire level, and we just do more slope jumps up here, and we get straight to the toads, which will get us our star. It is a huge
awesome.
skip that a lot of people think. And there was actually a huge debate on how much time this skip actually saved, because like there was a huge meme that was just like, oh, you gotta do Honey Hive 1 skip. It saves like 2 minutes, when in reality it probably saves like 40 seconds, which is still a lot.
Oh,
but
okay.
Nowhere near as much.
I was actually going to ask. I was curious.
Nowhere near as much as people would say in the past.
Right. It does look like it skips a ton of time, when in reality it's still significant, but not as big as you think.
There is actually a smaller skip that you would do if you don't do this one. It's actually done in the Comet, where you race Cosmic Luigi. You would like fall down this ledge here, and that would just skip going over to the hole the intended way, and that saves some time if you're doing it the not tree skip way.
Gotcha.
And here's our little friend Captain Toad here to give us our star.
And you get your star. Yay! All right, so we have our first question is, does the Mushroom Kingdom have any time-saving strats?
Mushroom Kingdom?
It's the very beginning, right?
Oh, the Star Festival. See, that's actually kind of neat, because when you're playing as Luigi, that's actually a skip in and of itself, because when you're playing as Luigi, that whole sequence where you go into the Star Festival and Bowser attacks the place, that actually is not in the game when you're playing as Luigi. That's only if you're using Mario. So you actually get a 5-minute advantage. Just...
Wow.
Alright, that's Honey Hive 1. Any more questions while I'm getting to the next level?
There you go. We have a silly question. What's the best place to put Luigi into a stable orbit?
Stable orbit. Oh god. I need to catch up on my science astrophysics meaning. I feel like he could survive Mars, honestly. I think he would do great on a planet like Mars. Okay, so our next pretty big skip is going to be in the boss level of the terrace, which is Mega Leg. This is the first like huge boss of this game that gets you a grand star. So the main way to do this level is, you see the launch star in the cage over there. You need to get a bullet bill, which is shooting out of this cannon, and you lead it all the way over there and break the glass. But that's really slow, so we're gonna do a triple jump and just completely skip this planet, since I actually can't see it because the camera is wonky. But
camera won't go up there.
Mega Leg's planet is like huge in its gravitational pull, so if you do any sort of like big jump, like a triple jump, you'll just get warped straight to the next planet. And there's actually 2 ways to do this one, which is triple jumping off the cage with the launch star. I'm not going to spin because that will take me there, and I don't want to do it just yet. But it's not...
That's all it takes.
It's literally just doing a triple jump off the cage, and then you spin, and that will take you straight to the boss. And then the slightly more difficult one is off the starting platform, actually. Like, as soon as you land, you can just go straight to the boss.
Oh, wow.
It's actually pretty tricky with Luigi, because his acceleration is nowhere near as fast as Mario's. So you have to kind of flick the control stick back between neutral and forward to get like the perfect amount of speed for a triple jump in this very small space. So this is only the version of the skip that like pretty high level runners do, unless they're using 2-player, which I'll actually get into that like way later, because that's a whole different beast.
A quick question is, does first of all, I'm just watching the star go back to the center. Are you like recentering it all the time?
Since I'm on the Switch version,
cool.
It's kind of just a force of habit to keep pressing the button to recenter it, because when you're on Joy-Cons, you're actually using the gyro function of it and no sensor bar, so it just kind of like sometimes it will just drift off to the side, kind of like this. Only I'm doing it.
The other thing you mentioned is the acceleration of Luigi. So if Luigi accelerates slower, does he still have like a top speed similar to Mario? Because otherwise,
he actually runs a lot faster than Mario. He jumps higher and he runs faster, which is why he's so fast.
Okay, takes him longer to get to that
Yeah,
point.
because once you start running,
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
kind of hard to tell, but he kind of stays still for a little bit. And he's also a bit more slippery. With Mario, he stops basically instantly, and he goes to his top speed way quicker.
Cool.
He's just really slow, and he jumps way lower, so nobody likes using him.
Got it.
All
Got
right,
it.
So Mega Leg Skip, like I said, it's gonna be a well-timed triple jump off this platform here, and that'll take us straight to the boss. Might take me a few tries, but it's usually not too bad.
Sure.
Off the platform there. It's a very tight timing if you're doing it off this one. Just like that. See, like I'm so
nice.
far
Wow.
away from the planet. That's how big the gravity is here.
Yeah, that's a huge gravitational pull. My goodness.
Yeah, and the boss fight is pretty straightforward. There's no... Actually, there is a skip here I need to show off, because it's not until, like, the very end of the fight, but... once we get there, it's pretty obvious. This is actually one that some people probably do in their casual playthroughs, and not just in their speedruns, but... climbing Mega Leg himself is extremely easy. You just, like, long jump to the right, and climb up his leg. His Mega Leg, if you will.
Yes.
And as you can see, the Grand Star is up there, guarded by a giant cage, but there's two phases to this fight. Once you actually break that cage, more will actually open up, and you have to break them again. Actually, you can skip them completely and just nab the Grand Star instead of busting open those tiny cages. So once we... Yeah, the movement of Mega Leg is actually pretty cool. You just do a bunch of long jumps and it gets you insane speed. So these cages open up, and normally you have to break them open with a bullet bill, except you can just not let these guys crash. I'm going to spawn another one. You can just get over here and side flip or back flip and then spin, and he goes right over them, and he just breaks the cage with the Grand Star.
Oh, and then I see. Okay, and then he just breaks the one Grand Star one. That's awesome. It looks like that part's just making sure the timing of the bullet bill so it doesn't hit you or the side.
Bullet bills are pretty easy to manipulate in this game. They kind of just home in on you whenever, and then after that,
nice.
It's just take them wherever you want.
How would you compare them to like the movement in like Odyssey?
Odyssey, I feel like it's about the same actually.
Okay.
They're a bit easier to guide towards you in this game, but they're about the same in Odyssey, I'd say. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the terrace, and we're gonna be going up to the fountain now, which actually has probably, in terms of how the runners feel about the skips in this game, this is actually one of the least favorite among the community, because some people actually consider it to be luck-based, including myself sometimes, but that's mainly just when I'm tilted and missing a lot. But
it just seems like it's just not consistent.
Yes, it's definitely one of the more inconsistent ones. It's in Space Junk Galaxy.
Okay.
This skip was actually found by Flygon Man in about 2016, 2017-ish, and it completely shook up the any percent route, because this saves so much time that we actually cut out an entire star and replaced it with Space Junk Comet, which is an entire repeat of this one star, just because this skip is so huge.
Because it's so much.
So this skip is pretty much entirely to do with these pole stars here. These are a pretty basic mechanic. You just point to one and grab it, and it flings Luigi towards it. But there's a thing called pole star momentum, where if you let go of whatever button you're using to grab the pole star, it just kind of flings Luigi off to the side, and you can use this to gain some pretty crazy momentum sometimes and just kind of go flying.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're going to be doing for this skip here. So normally for Space Junk 1, you want to go up there and grab those star chips, and that takes you to the rocket ship, which takes you to another set of pole stars that you can actually see from the very beginning. I believe they're over here somewhere. This camera, man, it's really something.
Yeah, it does not want to show it.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. Yeah. So the rocket ship takes you up here. As you can see, it's all the way up there.
Okay.
And then that takes you towards the end of the level. But with this skip, we can actually skip the star chips and the rocket ship entirely. It's gonna have to do with these two pole stars right here. So I'm gonna grab this one, and then as long as Luigi's facing the right direction, it actually just flings him straight to those three pole star orbs that you saw earlier.
Oh, whoa.
It just completely skips over this whole section. So yeah, there's two different ways you can do it. You can do it just by like going like as soon as you can, like kind of like that, except I'm not gonna try it. But if you miss it, there's actually a backup you can do where you grab this one and it flings him back, and then you just grab this and then you let go of the pole star and it just kind of slingshots Luigi all the way over there.
Oh wow, okay. Okay.
And the angle I want Luigi to be facing is about kind of like about right there. He wants to be facing kind of away from like kind of towards where we came from. So this might take me a few tries because the angle that Luigi faces, most people believe it to just be random, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So that one was not very close to working because the angle was the exact opposite of what I wanted it to be. And this is why this skip is so frustrating, because you can't really find a way to make it super consistent with the angle.
How many attempts does it take you on average to get?
Probably at best I get it first try, but usually at worst it would take me about like 6 or so attempts. It can be really annoying.
Oh wow, okay.
That should be close, maybe? Not.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're trying to like skip over. I see.
That should work. And there we go. That's Space Junk 1 skip. Takes you all the way over here. That's actually not that's not the only skip that we do in this level. There's another one very soon.
Oh wow.
Just skip over these pole stars here. Pretty minor stuff. And this next one coming up is called Sludgy Hop, named after the person who found it, called the Sludgy Gamer. Very, very good Galaxy runner in his prime. He actually held all 5 world records in this game at the same time. Every category is Mario and Luigi.
Whoa.
I believe 5 different people have done that now, so it's pretty wild that some...
They just go hard. People who run this game go hard.
So this is actually where gravity plays a big part in gaining extra height. So normally if you did a triple jump from this spot, it wouldn't really give you that much height. It would just it would shoot you the normal height a triple jump would, which is still pretty high.
Sure.
But it's nowhere near enough to reach that sling star up there. Let's see if I can point to it. Yeah, right there.
Oh, sure.
So normally you actually have to save all these toads, and the starship comes down with Captain Toad on it, and that takes you right to the sling star.
Yeah, we don't have time for that.
I don't feel like saving toads from being encased in glass, sorry. So if you stand on this line here and you do a really well-timed triple jump off this area, it will actually just kind of rocket you up to the sling star with absolutely ridiculous height. It's kind of weird how it works, because you're kind of shifting between this part of the planet and the next one, and the gravity kind of intertwines a bit and just gets you way more height than it should. And I believe it all has to do with like holding neutral on the stick so that you don't have like a crazy amount of speed, so that you just like go to this part. See, the normal triple jump, I'm not even close to making it. But if you hold neutral and you're like right on the corner, like right about here, that will give you the height you need to make it to the sling star. So
interesting. Okay, let's see it.
Yeah, it's another really tight one, just like the first skip, which is why this star is one of many people's least favorite.
That makes sense. All right.
There you go.
Oh wow. Okay, gotcha. And I was trying to see that exact like angle coming in.
It gives you a lot of extra height. Yeah, and we're all the way over here now.
Is there anything you can do in this area?
There are some small skips to get you to the silver stars, but it's mainly just like spawning the platforms and long jumping towards them. Yeah, you can pretty much just skip walking over all these different platforms.
Right, because you kind of know where they're going to spawn.
There's actually one right here. It's literally just called box jump. There's 2 different ways you can do it. You can long jump to these red platforms, but that's a bit less consistent because Luigi can actually bonk on them while they're separated, which will end up killing you.
Oh.
But you can also just long jump down here and land on this one for safety, and get.
Okay, and that's like close enough. Sure.
And then you just long jump to the silver star, and that is Space Junk 1. Very, very complicated level. There's a lot of big skips that you would have to learn if you want to do it in its most optimal fashion.
It's cool though. I like seeing, especially when one stage has like multiple sections that you can like skip and I mean manipulating gravity is kind of the key here, which is really fun.
Yeah, and we're actually not done with Space Junk. We're going to be going into Space Junk 2, which has a really neat skip that saves about 15 seconds, I think. It's right before the boss fight.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's called...
Okay, what would you say is the biggest time save you get in this game? Like, how much time do you save from one skip in this game?
God.
Biggest skip.
I'm going through the list I have right now, and it's probably the one in Toy Time 1 where you jump up Mecha Bowser's like entire arm and just skip that entire section. That saves a lot,
Okay.
but there's also stuff like Honey Hive 1 skip, which saves like 40 seconds. Yeah, a lot of the stuff doesn't save like a crazy amount. It's more just adding up quickly. Like if you add all the skips together, it just kind of adds up to crazy amounts of time saved. So there is a skip right here to skip flipping this switch. It's not the one that I am exactly referring to. The other one is actually called Bridge Skip, which is exactly what we're doing here, but it's a different bridge, I swear. So you just long jump over here and you skip flipping that switch, and you can just meet up with the bunnies here. And you take the Sling Star, and then the real bridge skip is coming up right at the end here. You can shake and long jump to make a shell follow you. It's pretty neat. Okay, so this bridge right here.
Here we go.
The main key to getting to the boss is these two octopus dudes. You need to grab this Koopa since they only shoot fire. They don't shoot any coconuts for you to fling back at them. So you take the shell and you kill both of them, and that knocks the bridge down. There is, however, a skip where you bounce off of the fireball, and it actually takes you to the boss. Because getting hit by fire or lava in this game sends Luigi. Actually, I can show you. It sends him like really high up.
What, skyrocket? Like you would when you're touching lava?
Yeah, like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to long jump off this gap, like super close to the black hole, and I'm gonna do a spin. And if worst case scenario, I'm actually gonna do a ground pound to stall myself even longer, so I end up getting hit by the fire, and it will just take me straight to the boss. Definitely one of the harder skips in this game. It's definitely not recommended for like beginner runners.
Okay.
But there's actually
Seems like timing's really important.
The timing is extremely important. If you're doing it in a run setting, you actually have the perfect timing if you're coming in from the launch star, because this guy like just shot one of his fire coconuts, so you can just come down and do it immediately. But if you have the timing a bit wrong, you have to like wait a cycle and time it correctly. So it's actually a bit harder if you just don't go for it. But there's actually a giant invisible wall around these guys, which makes the skip a bit tricky. So you want to be like right in front of their face when you're doing it, which makes it a bit tough because you can actually slam into one of them and that just knocks you into the black hole.
Oh, it's like basically an auto death.
Yeah, this might take me a few tries, just like Space Junk 1. The early game actually has quite an amount of tough skips in it. Probably one of the harder parts of the game. Yeah, let's see if I can get it.
It's not always bad though to have your skip.
There it is. That's first skip.
Oh, nice. Okay, first try. Let's go.
Yeah, as you can see, the fireball just shot me right up here to where the boss is, and I believe the octopus guys are actually still here. They kind of disappear. Yeah, they're right there. And the boss fight, there
they are.
is. It's not really a skip per se. It's more so something that you do before you actually start a run, where you manipulate the cycles here. Because for a long time, people actually thought the cycles at which Camilla shoots fireballs and shells is completely luck. It's actually not. It's a specific pattern. As you can see, she goes from a fireball to a shell, and I won't be showing it off in its entirety because I have to replay the entire level. But essentially, what you do is you wait for her to throw a fireball, and then you hit her with a shell. And this is all done before you even start the run. And then you wait for her to do it again and again. And then when you start the run, she will give you nothing but shells. So you actually skip, I believe it's 3 entire fireball cycles because you manipulate it. Because the cycles are global. They link between save files.
Interesting.
So you can actually make it so you only get the best cycles and you only get shells, which is about a 7-second time save, I believe, which is really neat. It does make runs a bit.
Shells.
It does make runs a bit more difficult to get started, though. If you lose a run past this level, you have to set up the entire fight again. So.
Right.
yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about, which is pretty cool. You can actually do it again in the
That's awesome.
rematch in Deep Dark Galaxy, which we will be going to for a really cool glitch, actually.
Oh, fun!
All right, I believe.
Do we have any non-speedrun ones to show off as well while we're here, or are there like? I
guess a lot of these skips I think are just mainly applied to speedruns. I don't really think there's much that you could just do to break the game.
Gotcha.
Trying to think, but it doesn't. Nothing's really coming to mind. However, there is one that I do want to go over. I won't be doing it because I'm actually like I haven't done this skip at all. But there are really high level runners that do go for it in their runs. It's called Battle Rock 1 Out of Bounds, which if you've watched the AGDQ race between Tibbs, J, Hardcore Gaming, and Cloud Kirby, I believe Tibbs did get this skip in his run. This is actually a pretty minor skip, though, right here. Anybody can actually do this one. You literally just triple jump up here, and you skip the star chips, and it takes you right to the launch star.
Oh, sweet. Can you do this with Mario?
Yes, but it is a bit harder. It's not, like, crazy hard with Mario, but you can do it.
It's a bit more precise.
So, I'm not going to be showing it off, but if you want to see the skip in action, you can go watch. I believe the world record does do it. Jay's 2:16, which is a absolutely crazy run for any percent. Yeah, basically what the skip involves is skipping this entire auto-scroller here, because when you hit this screw, it's just going to take you on a joyride all the way to the star, and that, I believe it takes about 50 seconds-ish, something like that. And you do it twice. So if you're able to skip this entire thing twice, that saves a lot of time in the grand scheme of things.
Yes, absolutely.
So basically, I'll demonstrate what it should look like, but I'm probably not going to get it. If I do, I'll go into panic mode, because I've literally never done this.
Okay, this is the one you were talking about before. Okay.
So
I was like, no, give it a shot.
So when you hit the screw, when you triple jump on this saucer, it gives Luigi a ton of momentum. So it will just kind of fly him around the thing, and you can triple jump off the side here and get a ridiculous amount of height, and that will take you out of bounds into like the rock section where all the cannonballs are flying. And you kind of just do a bunch of slope jumps, and it takes you all the way to where the star is, and it saves so much time. But it's probably the hardest skip in the entire game. Many people consider it to be. All right, here we go. I'm definitely gonna get it, I swear. All right. Not very close, but that's what it should ideally look like. I should have triple jumped right about here, and that will take me to where all the cannonballs are shooting. But yeah, it's a very
and then you just have to go from
it's
there.
a very insane skip if you see it in action. But that's pretty much it for the fountain. Kitchen has 3 skips that I want to go over that are all pretty neat. One of them is actually gonna be our first like real glitch, like flipping through stuff.
Oh, nice. And how many of the hubs are there for different stars?
I believe there are 6.
Different, like,
6 hubs.
Galaxies. Okay. So we've done 2 or 3 of them.
This is going to be our 3rd one. I will be going to all of them, at least once.
Okay. Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, we got plenty of time. Don't worry.
All right. So the first one I want to show off is Ghostly 1 skip, which takes place in, you guessed it, Ghostly 1. It's actually at the very end of the level. I believe the official name for it is called Mansion Clip, because we clip right into the mansion where Luigi's being held captive. Yes, we are saving Luigi as Luigi in this game. You're not like your eyes aren't tricking you. This does happen. This is canon.
That's amazing.
So yeah, Ghostly 1 in general is actually a pretty neat star. It has a ton of little mini skips you can do. I wouldn't really say a skip here, but if you grab this rainbow star, you can just like kind of breeze your way through the upcoming chomp. There is actually a skip inside the mansion here where normally I can't really explain it as it's happening, but as you see, I just killed that boo with the rainbow star there. Normally what you have to do is flip this switch here, and it opens this light, and you want to lead the boo into the light to spawn the key to unlock the door. But if you're playing as Rainbow Luigi, you can just like jump into the painting and kill him right there.
So if you're fast enough, you can just get up there in time.
And then...
So is that what you usually do during runs?
And assuming I'm in a run, I will still have the Rainbow Star here, which lets me get all of these star chips like insanely fast, because being in the Rainbow form like doubles your speed. So it's actually a bit hard. It's actually a bit hard to
right.
control in this area because you're running like on a bunch of walls in the ceiling. One of the coolest parts of Galaxy is just how different gravity just acts as another part of the floor. It's really seamless.
Yeah, you can just kind of... Yeah, see, I see you weren't getting like almost any of those pieces how they probably intended you to get them.
And normally you would have to like walk on these ramps to get to the launch star, but you can literally just wall kick here and go into it. All right, so this is where mansion clip comes into play. So normally you have to get this key using these pole stars here, which unlocks this door, which will take you to the Boo power up, and using that you can go all the way to yourself, Luigi. As you can see, he's in here. We gotta save him. Asking for Mario. They never change his voice when you're playing as Luigi. I think they actually change his text though. When you save him, he says like, "Whoa, you're me. Why are you saving me?" or something like that.
Oh, it actually says that. But then it's hard for you to remember because you've been playing on a different language for so long.
I do play on the Korean version, which does save about 2 minutes over English because the English text is so slow in this game.
Oh, wow.
All right. So, yeah, normally you get the key to unlock this door, but there's actually some collision that does not exist under this mansion. It's obviously I can't really show it because we're in a very restricted area. But if you use these pole stars to kind of sling yourself under the mansion and you spin at the right time, you can actually clip through the floor and you'll go right into the room where Luigi is. And normally I do it long jumping off this platform, but you can also drop off right here and do it. But I'll just do it how I normally do. So
yeah, I was gonna say, how do you practice for this?
It's actually really easy to practice. You can actually just like grab this pole star here because we're actually gonna use this one to give ourselves enough height to clip in.
Oh sure, okay,
if you
that
want
makes
to clip
sense.
back out and try again, you can just grab this one and it takes you back here.
Oh cool.
It's definitely one of the more straightforward skips. Pretty much anybody could do it if they give it minimal effort.
Nice. It's just hard to like show the setup, right?
Yeah, you just sling yourself in here, grab that pole star, and you are inside the mansion.
And you're already in there!
Yeah, and you obviously can't go back out now because you've just completely clipped through the floor. And one really interesting thing is if you don't grab the key before doing the skip, the lights are kind of just idle, like they don't really move. You can actually still get affected by the light, which is actually how you save Luigi. Because he's actually he's afraid of ghosts, so you can't talk to him if you're Boo Luigi. Actually, I'll try to show that off here if I don't get hit by the light.
You get hit by the light?
Yeah, he's scared of us.
Oh look! Oh
no! But thankfully,
so cool, like,
you
getting
can just get hit by this light here, assuming Luigi wants to drop down and turn back to normal, and then talk to him.
Then you're good to go. And he's like, "Hey, thanks for coming to get me. Now we're both stuck in here."
Yeah, but with the magic powers of star teleportation, you just go right back to the observatory. So.
Right?
I'll just grab the star to show the double Luigi, because it's always fun to see.
I love that.
Alright, so that's our first of 2 skips in the Ghostly Galaxy. The other one is going to be in the Secret Star, which we do in Star number 2. We will not be racing the Spooky Speedster, unfortunately, but we will be going to, I believe it's called the Matter Splatter Mansion or something like that. That's the official name.
Okay.
Which is a really, really cool level design. A bunch of, like, it has a huge green background, and it has a bunch of, like, disappearing floor and everything. And we're actually gonna skip a huge auto-scroller at the end of it.
The vertical one, right?
Takes you all the way up to the star.
Yeah.
And we're actually gonna be just wall jumping off of walls that don't exist in the first place. They're just kind of there. Like, it makes a lot more sense when we get there.
Yeah, when you're actually there. So does it have collision even though it's not lit up?
Once
Usually
you grab
it
the key to start the auto-scroller, it does. So you can get there a bit earlier.
Okay.
There's actually some small skips
Nice.
you can do here, like completely skipping this and just like long jumping past the door. I think you can actually, you actually can't walk through. And you skip this one just by long jumping here. A lot of easy stuff for Luigi. And that skips a whole auto-scroller that
Very
just
cool.
takes you around. This is where the big skip is, though. There's actually 2 variants of this. I'll try both because I have tried the keyless method before. There is two different ways of doing this. The normal one that I usually do is grabbing this key, which starts the whole auto-scroller section, and it lets me wall kick off these invisible walls that don't it's kind of like invisible doors, I should say. And then there's the keyless method, where you push up against this wall, and if you time it right, you can actually wall kick off of the side of this, and it's a lot more precise. But I will be going for it a couple times, and then I'll show off the key method.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of these skips, once you get used to seeing it, it's actually like pretty simple to explain because of this game's pretty limited movement. You can use it to do some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of triple jumps, long jumps, and wall jumps to just gain a lot of height. Alright, I'm gonna try keyless here. Alright, well that was not the key I wanted to grab, but yeah, the initial wall jump is probably the hardest part.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh my
you can
gosh,
see it
okay.
right there.
I saw that first.
I actually don't.
Yeah, I saw
not
that, like,
sure if
first,
grabbing that key affects anything, but hopefully it doesn't. I think it does. So I'm just gonna show the normal method. After that initial wall jump, it's actually the same exact skip. So that's the hardest part of keyless. Once you get up there, it pretty much becomes the same version as this. So I'm gonna grab this and grab this question mark coin, which starts the whole auto scroller, and I'm going.
What do you do during Six of Two?
This one. This is what I do in runs. As you can see, I just jumped off an invisible floor. I purposely messed up just to show it off again because it kind of takes some getting used to see what exactly is going on. But I wall jumped off.
Right, and you can't.
Yeah,
just
it's
stop
very
it.
hard to explain things as you're doing them that fast. But I wall jumped off the invisible door and I landed on the top of it, and I actually was able to wall kick off of the top where the star is, because that's conveniently the only door that's still visible, because they just need to have the star available.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the full thing now. Oh, I fell. Nice. You can actually fall through the floor still for some reason. There you go. Let's go see secret skip. And you grab that key to unlock the star, and it's right there for you.
And there you are, and you're already there when it's like
it's
still
going.
taking
You can
its
actually
sweet
see
time
it
getting
at the
up.
bottom of the screen.
Oh my gosh, it's taking so long.
If you miss that, there's another like mini skip you can do to triple jump up there from the actual floor. That hardly saves time though.
Right.
All right, and now for actually, I was gonna say it's our final skip, but I completely forgot about one in Bubble Breeze that we'll get to later. But that's one that people can do extremely easily in like their casual playthroughs. But for now, we're gonna be going to Buoy Base Galaxy, which in my opinion has the best song in the entire game. It's definitely my favorite.
I'll just skip ahead listening.
So the beginning of the level is pretty straightforward. You just swim down here. Swimming in itself can have a glitch in it, which I will get to when we get to Seaside Galaxy, which is pretty late. Yeah, there will be way more on swimming when we get there, because that is one of the most broken parts of this game.
Oh, fun! Oh, yeah.
But when you're underwater, you can basically just shake infinitely to go as fast as you want, which can be a high risk, high reward thing with Luigi, because he loses air very fast. It's not like Mario, where that's actually one of the advantages Mario has. He doesn't lose air as quickly.
Okay. How they're trying to balance it.
Yeah.
Not balance.
Yes. The one advantage Mario has over the
But so you were still getting speed even though he didn't have any air left.
Yeah, so you can run out of air and still keep swimming. It's just you start taking damage over time, and you have to get out of the water pretty quickly.
Right.
So yeah, Buoy Base, you can pretty much skip this entire tower just by doing a bunch of wall jumps and backflips and stuff. This is actually one thing that is more of a general thing. It's not really a very specific skip. But when you're on thwomps or just any rising platform, if you do any jump, you actually get a lot more height than you normally would.
Oh, I see. When it's raising up.
It kind of carries the momentum. And that applies a lot to Buoy Base here, as you'll see right here. Just kind of get some extra height and bounce up here. So
Oh,
the
wow.
normal way to do
Okay.
this level is to get all these blue star chips. I actually got one of them, but we're gonna be skipping that entirely by going up to the very top here. And it all has to do with this top man here. So you get this one and then you use the pole stars to go up there. However,
Sure.
you can actually entirely skip that. This is actually a skip that Mario cannot do at all. Unless
Oh,
you're using
okay.
two-player, but again, more on that later. So when you're playing as Luigi, this skip is actually the initial timing for it is not super precise. It's just like a very kind of a tight spin as you're hitting the guy after a ground pound, and that will give you a little extra height. And then if you spin at the very peak of your jump off the top man, you can actually just skip straight to the Pokeball planet, as I like to call it.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like
show
the
it off
term.
here. Does take a few tries sometimes.
Oh, wow. With that little teeny bit of extra
There
height. Oh, he looks like a
Yeah,
dancer.
he does twirl a lot in
A
the air.
lovely
And
spin.
as you can see, it just skips us straight here. And then you just long jump to
Awesome.
the end and unscrew the Pokeball. It looks a lot more like one once we open it up, as you can see.
Right. Ta-da. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's Buoy Base 1 skip. That's actually one of the more recent things, I believe, that was discovered. And by recent, I mean it was found 6 years ago. But yeah, it was...
Everything was found a long
lot
time
of the
ago.
skips in this were very, very ancient.
Has there been anything found in the last, 2 years?
2 years? Yes, Battle Rock Out of Bounds was definitely the most recent discovery. That was found in, I think, 2019 or 2020, about. And
Okay.
when it was first found, people were like, okay, this is TAS only, we're never doing this. And then, of course, people started doing it in runs 2 weeks later.
Yep. Because that's what we do. We're like, no, we have to be able to do this. There's got to be a way.
Okay, and now the final skip in the kitchen that I want to show off is in Bubble Breeze Galaxy. The first planet here is very straightforward. There's no skips. You just use the bubble and get the star chips. It all has to do with the ending. This could kind of be considered a glitch because you're walking on collision that you really should not be walking on to skip to the end. Yeah, the beginning of it, you just take the bubble and you get all these star chips here. If you have any more questions, then I can answer them if you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Chat, you are always welcome to jump in and ask more questions for us. Let's go. Also, you are racing through this. This is awesome. Because of having a completed file that you can just do levels on, this is making
it was
this
definitely
a breeze.
the preferred way to do this because, like I said before, this game is very slow. The time, I'm not even joking, the average time between stars is 40 seconds. When you get a star, it takes about 40 seconds to a minute to get into the level again. It's ridiculous.
To go back, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this launch star here, and the very next part of Bubble Breeze, you can see the stars right there off to the side. If you want to try and backflip up to it, there is a giant invisible wall, so good luck with that. However, that's not the wall that we're gonna be skipping. There's actually one right behind us that we can just backflip onto and long jump straight to the star.
Oh, right.
This is one that a lot of people do in their playthroughs. A lot of people I actually do not think have ever done this part the intended way. I think they just do the skip. Yes.
Casually?
Because normally you have to take this bubble and you gotta go all the way around this entire section, and it's super slow. But we're gonna be...
Right.
What would be the best glitches for Mario? Mario can do pretty much everything Luigi can in this game, with some exceptions, kind of like Buoy Base 1 skip. Luigi is the preferred brother to play as, though, because he just makes everything so much easier. Pretty much all the top runners agree that Mario is the harder category to run. Because Mario and Luigi... Mario and Luigi are separated on the leaderboards, so to make things a lot less unfair. Since Luigi skips the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yes! Kind of a huge advantage right away. What you were saying. We also have a suggestion about going to explain the Buoy Base Penguin task strat. It could be really cool.
That is basically a glitch you can do where you just launch off the penguin and shoot to the very top of Buoy Base without even hitting the bubble to raise the thing. But as he said, it's
so cool.
It's a task strat, so nobody does it, and it's nobody really knows how it works.
Oh, really? Okay.
But essentially, you just bonk on a penguin and you just go flying in the air. It's pretty crazy. There's some
That's super cool.
extreme stuff the task does in this game.
Mhm.
But yeah, back to Bubble Breeze. We're gonna be backflipping onto this rock here and then just like long jumping to the star. It's one of the easiest skips in this entire game. As you can see, I'm just standing right here. I really should not be standing here.
Is it not supposed to have? I guess it should. It's not supposed to have collision, but we are.
Yeah, this is not supposed to have collision. It really shouldn't, but for some reason it does, and you can just long jump right over here, and boom, right at
You're
the
already
star.
done.
Yeah, that's it for the kitchen. The bedroom is our next one, which personally has my favorite levels in the game. Dusty Dune notwithstanding, nobody likes Dusty Dune, but Freeze Flame Galaxy is a great one.
Would you say, are we already halfway through the skips we're going to see, or do some of the later levels have more things to show off?
Yes, there are a lot of stuff in the later levels, especially in the garden, which is like a post-game dome that you don't really see in any percent.
Oh, nice. But we'll get to see that today.
Yeah. So we're going to be going into the bedroom here. So the first thing I want to show is in Freeze Flame Galaxy, which is a lot of people's favorite. More specifically in Freeze Flame 2, which is entirely lava-based. It's called Freeze Flame for a reason. There's an entire ice level and then an entire lava level, and the third star kind of combines the two. It's a really cool, really cool concept that is by far my favorite in this game. So after we get these star chips, I will be doing kind of a small skip to skip the pole stars and go straight to the launch star. But that's definitely not the big one that I want to show off.
Sure.
Yes, I will be going through two-player stuff at the end. As you can see, I just long jumped there and skipped the pole stars. Alright, so Super Mario Galaxy and lava are the best combination you can ask for because you can do some pretty ridiculous stuff with lava.
Yes, and that's also true in the second one as well, right?
Yes, Galaxy 2 actually has more of it, I believe. This is like, I think this is one of two that you do in this game. This life shroom is extremely crucial for doing it because you need a lot of health to make these work. So this level is very, very long if you're doing it the normal way. You gotta go all the way over there, swap. You can actually do a different skip there. I think I'll try to show it off if I don't reset my checkpoint, but if I do, the level's not too long. I can just reset it and go back.
Yeah.
There's two different skips here. This one is my preferred way of doing it because it just looks way cooler, and it's a lava boost. Everybody likes lava boosts. So there's a very specific part of the lava that you can bounce off. It's about right here where my pointer is. It's kind of like a slope / a wall, and if you bounce off the side of a lava wall, you will get absurd speed, and you will just kind of go flying. And the main goal is to skip all the way to this little ledge over here, and that's where the end of the level is.
That's sick. Okay.
It basically skips the entire thing. So I'm gonna bounce off this and then try my best to direct Luigi towards this area. It can be kind of tricky because he kind of goes bouncing this way, and you have to turn him around in midair. Yeah, there we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, he just goes soaring over here to the end.
So fast.
And
Holy
you just
moly.
jump down there and finish the level. And now I will die to see if I reset my checkpoint. If I don't, I will just start from the beginning to show off the other skip.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that lava boost saves about 1 second over the other skip, except it looks cooler, so I like doing it more.
Okay.
It does save a lot of time over the normal level, though, so... Yeah, this is the other one. This is actually way easier than Lava Boost. More people actually prefer doing this one. You actually just go up here, and Mario can do this one just as easily. Long jump over here, and that just switches the gravity. And then where that question mark block is, I'm going to be long jumping off to the side, and that will just direct me straight to the end of the level, kind of like the Lava Boost.
Okay.
Yeah, it actually it only loses 1 second, which is not something you would expect from coming all the way over here, but getting the life shroom and setting up for the lava boost does take some time. So yeah, you literally just long jump off, and it just changes your gravity, and you go right here.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. You wouldn't expect that, and it definitely does seem like it would be slower at first. That's really interesting.
Yeah, and then there's one last mini skip you can do here with the fire flower. You can just kind of long jump over to these torches and light them to spawn the star, rather than taking the platform and shooting them from far away. Yeah, and that's Freeze Flame 2. It's one of my favorite levels.
You just land on the platform next to it, or do you take the fire damage?
So when the star spawns, the platform comes out and you land on it, and then you can just kind of walk over to it.
Oh, nice. Okay, I got you.
All right. So Dusty Dune Galaxy, many people's favorite level. This one definitely doesn't have the best reception. The Galaxy community, casually and speedrunning wise, not many people like Dusty Dune, but it does have a pretty neat skip in Dusty Dune 2 at the very end of the level, so I gotta play through this whole thing. There's one cool thing you can do with this red pokey here. I'll see if I can get it after you kill these dudes. If you do a homing ground pound here, it actually spawns the pokey a bit earlier, if I could do it. Unfortunately, I could not. I'm actually gonna die again because I want to try it. Because yeah, Luigi suffers a pretty gruesome death if you sink in quicksand in this game. It's actually why Dusty Dune Purple's, the purple coin star here, is one of people's least favorites, because you can die very easily if you get hit once. See, and it just springs him up from the sand. Very interesting.
Yeah, so it's like a couple seconds.
Yeah. That's definitely not the biggest one, though. The big one comes at the very end of the game. The very end of this level. There is a big skip at the end of the game, though.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, this level is...
We want to see skips everywhere. That's
yeah,
what's good for
this
the
level
show.
is really straightforward. You just, like, get these star chips, and then at the very end, we'll be doing something called tilt, which I will explain in much further detail when we get there, because tilt is a very complicated thing in this game. Nobody really understands it in its entirety, except, like, the basics of it, and how it's used for stuff like this. But yeah, once we get there, I will go into as much detail as I can when explaining it.
I'm curious to see how you would like describe it.
All right, well, think of it this way: the skip is very tilting if you miss it. That's not why it's called tilt, but it is. Yeah, just long jump over here, and we actually take this route because it takes us closer to the star. And the reason we want to be close is because we're actually going to skip the entire end of this level. And the normal way you do this is you hit a switch on like the opposite side of the planet, and it raises a bunch of platforms that take you straight up to the star. As you can see, they're actually all the way over there. And once you hit that little spring, it raises the platforms right here. Which takes you right to the star. So as you can see, that star is up very high, and if I just do like a normal triple jump, that is not even going to be close to enough height to reach it.
Sure.
So that's where tilt comes into play, because if you do some really wonky stuff with Luigi, this also applies to Mario, but this skip is very difficult as Mario. It's almost impossible. It can be done, but it's just extremely tight. So yeah, if you walk around on this little circle platform here and you swap the gravity, it does interesting things to Luigi's hitbox. It makes him tilt in a very odd, like, you can barely see it. It's extremely hard to notice, but his hitbox actually literally tilts slightly upward, and it makes it so that you can actually grab that star.
Okay, wow.
It's very bizarre. Nobody really knows why or how it works, but it all has to do with swapping gravity here. It can be done in other levels too, but it's nowhere near as useful as here. And you do this in the Comet as well, which is an exact repeat of this star, just with a time limit. The skip is actually harder though, because the star is like slightly higher up, so you have to get like perfect tilt to reach it. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can kind of get it from a standstill here. It's kind of awkward when you're not just coming straight from the pipe. If you just do the triple jump with good enough tilt, you should reach it. Just like that.
Well, that's so weird, because it looks like nothing's really that different.
It's so bizarre.
Whoa. It's just keeping that slight tilt. That's so strange.
It's a very, very bizarre mechanic in this game that people don't really understand too well.
Right. But it happens.
Yeah, the next one, this is a huge one. One of my personal favorites in concept, but is
okay.
It's a pretty difficult one, especially on 3D All-Stars for some bizarre reason, which I will get into when we get to the second planet. But this entire level is essentially going to be skipped with a trick, and I quote, is called Valu Fly High B Thing. That is the skip name, and it is founded by Valu, who is like one of the best Galaxy runners of all time, and just Mario runners in general. It was founded by him in about 2017, 2018, somewhere around that time. And we didn't really know what to call it, so we literally just called it Valu Fly High B Thing. And essentially, how honeycombs work in this game is when you grab one, it kind of shifts your gravity so that you're like if you fly off of one, it keeps you stuck to the wall, so you don't just like go like completely in the opposite direction that you want. Basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to jump off this honeycomb and spin, and that will actually swap our gravity to make it so that we're going straight up. And if you do it at the right time, you will get a insane amount of height, and you will just go straight to the launch star. And this actually can be done in the planet at the very end of the level, which is actually a lot more difficult because the gravity is just weird there for some reason, but it's a lot easier here. So you just want to make sure Luigi's facing straight up, and you want to be staying neutral on the control stick, not holding it at all. And if you just jump and start flying and shake at the same time, this will happen.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's not the max height that I wanted, but that's a pretty interesting demonstration of it.
Yes.
Best case scenario, I will go flying straight into the launch star, but it does take a few tries on 3D All-Stars for some reason, because Luigi's physics just work differently here. He doesn't like to face straight up.
Okay.
Yeah, it went left again. You don't want to go left, because that just gives Luigi way less height. Nobody really knows why. Okay, come on, Luigi. Actually, I'm gonna start from scratch, because there's actually a setup to make this a lot more consistent. Doing it from a standstill makes it very odd. There we go.
Whoa!
Yeah, and you just go flying right to the launch star.
That's so cool.
This is one of the most satisfying levels to get star bits on, because you can just get a ton. This part of the level does not have the skip in it, because it's a very horizontal-based planet. So you just kind of fly over to it, dodge the meteors. The next planet is where things get way more complicated, because the gravity is it's so weird. Like, it works way different. Nobody knows why. But if you actually, this is where the purple bugs come in play. So if you like spin off the edge of one of them, it actually gives you more height. Again, kind of an anomaly, but I will try to show that off. It makes like an actual sound if you get it. So let's see if I can do it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Like that. It makes a little ding sound, and it just gives you way more height for some bizarre reason. Yeah, and you basically just do this to skip the entire rest of the planet and go straight into the star. But like I said earlier, this planet, it's a lot more, like you see, I'm not getting nearly as much height as I did on the first one.
Yes. But, I mean, it's still pretty wild to see.
Yeah, it saves a lot of time, because this is a huge climb.
Can you theoretically skip off one bug to get all the way up here, or no?
No, you have to do it I think at minimum, you have to do it 3 times to reach the star.
Okay.
From the very bottom.
So you try to, like, time those out correctly so that you can go, like, bug.
Yes. I think you only launch off that one bug that I did. The rest of them are just off of honeycombs.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons that... there's a lot of things that people don't exactly know why they work. That sounds very repetitive the more I say it, but...
no, it's okay. So then, just to clarify, with the, like, moving off of the bugs, do you do, like, the same type of movement where it's, like, neutral on the control stick? You shake the controller, or is there a different setup for how you get the height off of them? Yes,
it's pretty much always holding neutral, because if you're holding up, Luigi basically just acts as if you didn't do it in the first place, and you just kind of fly as normally.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting.
Well, all right, so the final skip in the bedroom is actually in the Bowser level. This is one of my personal favorites. It's called Plus Skip, and that will have a lot more context when we get to the the gravity 2D section of the level. As you can see, there's like a whole bunch of different gravity shifts here with all these arrows. That right there is the plus that we're going to be skipping. I'm going to be long jumping off of that and just like skipping that entire section. There's a lot of cool things you can do with the gravity in this level.
Yeah.
Like that, and just completely skip this. This is one of my favorite and least favorite levels at the same time, because when you do it well, it looks so cool, but it's so easy to mess up. It's one of the hardest levels for sure. As you can see, I just completely skipped like all those blocks, those Tetris blocks right there.
Oh wow, yeah, you're like, no thanks, we don't need them.
Yeah, you just triple jump up here.
Especially as Luigi, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can skip here for some reason.
Yeah, so like pass all that.
Yeah, and this is where all the dark matter comes in. If you fall in there, it essentially just acts as dark quicksand.
Sure.
All right, now there is actually something else I want to show off here before the plus skip. It's called Nemi Clip because it was found by Nemi43, who is one of the undisputed like goats of Galaxy 2 specifically, but he did do some experimenting in Galaxy 1. I just went up there to read.
I love it. The clip names are just the runner, or like you said, like the area, like the planet.
I'm actually gonna take an intentional death here to reset my camera because this requires a pretty specific camera angle to make it work.
Oh. Okay.
Or actually, I guess you could do it with any camera angle, but it makes it a lot easier to see the visual cue. Because like, I'm trying to land about here, where Luigi is. It's a lot easier to visualize when I actually try it to clip. But I'm going to long jump straight to the right and skip a death plane, and I'm just going to clip straight into this 2D section. Assuming I get it. It's definitely one of the harder parts of the game. See, right there, I was too far up, I think, so I hit the death plane. It's a really precise setup to make it work.
Okay.
Thankfully, the checkpoint resets like right there, so I can just try it a bunch of times.
Yeah, but you have to go backwards a little bit and then come back up. Interesting.
Just like that.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just clip straight into this section.
Yeah, it clips you into the wall.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so this is the one that I really wanted to show, which is plus skip. So ideally, if you're playing in a casual manner, you ride that plus and you just like jump on all the different sides of it to avoid dropping into the dark matter on the gravity. Mm-hmm. A part of the game that actually gives a lot of people trouble from what I've seen, because you have to keep jumping around on all sides of it. But if you do a long jump as soon as it starts moving and you do a well-timed spin, I use the coins right there as visual cue. And you kind of switch from right to up, and then kind of just switch based on the gravity you're moving in. You can go right to the end of the level.
Okay, you're just like, if you just jump this way and then you hold this, and then you work with the gravity of this, and you go this way, you can just get right to the end.
Yeah, it's so simple, guys. Anybody can do this.
Can you repeat it one more time just so we can follow along?
Essentially, I'm going to long jump as soon as this starts moving, and then once I get to those coins, I'm going to do a spin, and then I'm going to hold up to take me into this gravity, and then once I go into the upwards gravity, I'm going to switch to right. It's kind of hard to visualize it in my head because there are more platforms there to land on to avoid dying. But I'm going to switch to right, and then I think the next gravity is actually facing right, so you switch to upright, and then you land on the block, wall kick off of it, and then you'll land on it, and you will get to the end. That's a much more detailed version. I will try it right now.
Mm-hmm. Up and then to the right. Ah, okay.
I missed the wall kick because Luigi landed super low on the L. You want to be about in the middle there.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And the angles
makes more sense now.
Yeah, you can actually see what is going to happen once I get there. But the angles that you have to hold can be either really simple or really precise, depending on how the game decides to be with you. Because the end of this skip is just so bizarre sometimes. He just doesn't get a wall kick. But there you go. That's
there you go.
Skip.
Okay.
And then you can jump here to just get some extra height here and go straight to Bowser. And nice. This also has another skip. Normally you have to free these Lumas, these poor innocent Lumas trapped in the crystals, to spawn some stairs up to Bowser. But Luigi's mean, so he's gonna just backflip up and skip them.
Love that.
Yeah, the
All
Bowser,
right, well, there we
Bowser
go.
fight. Yeah, Bowser fight doesn't have too many things to explain about it. So
Nice. So at this point, we are over an hour in, and I know we're like kind of halfway-ish through the game. So I feel like, or maybe a little less than halfway. So I kind of feel like this might be like the perfect time if you need to like get up, stretch, get water, things like that. You want to take a quick break?
sure, yeah, breaks good with me.
Sweet. All right, everybody. So we are going to take a short break. We take wellness breaks on the show and other GDQ Hotfix shows. You'll see them all the time. It's just a good thing to do. You all can try and figure out the whole process of those gravity switching sections that Admi just did.
I try my best to explain.
Hey, having the second explanation, though, definitely helped me pick up on it better when you were doing it. So I appreciate that. But thank you all so much for tuning in so far. Don't worry, we are not finished. We will be back in just a few with some more of this. We have like, another half, 2/3 of the game left. So while you're waiting, you are just kind of like, I just got water. I'm feeling good. You can always go to our YouTube and just like glance at some of our other videos. We have like a highlights channel. We have the main GDQ channel that's got the other hotfix content on there. There's all kinds of awesome stuff you can check out. We also have bite-sized clips from our hotfix shows on our Instagram. So you can go look at those. And if you're watching this right now, or for those who are eventually watching this on YouTube, you can always come watch us live, starting at weeknights, 7 p.m. Eastern, except tonight, we did not have our first show, awfully silly. And weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. So we have all kinds of awesome content all over the place. You can check it out. And we will be back in just a few minutes with some more Mario Galaxy. Hello and welcome back. We are here. That's never happened before. Coming back at you with some more Super Mario Galaxy 1. This has been a glitch showcase. Hello, I'm your host, Kungfufruitcup, for those who are just joining. And we are featuring Admi, who's been breaking down these Mario Galaxy glitches and skips. It's been super fun so far. And we're really racing through it. It's awesome. Look at this. We might have shows that go like on time. We used to just, our shows used to be just like going over. It could be like twice as long as most other shows. We try to not do that because, want to keep everybody from not being up way too late. But it's been a blast. So, Admi, whenever you're ready, feel free to start that countdown again so we can get the timer going and we can get back into some more glitches. Let's do it.
All right, I am ready myself, and we'll count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so the next glitch that I'm going to show off is mainly done in Seaslide Galaxy, which is in the engine room, which is where I'll be heading next, but it's more of a general thing. I actually mentioned it earlier on when we were in Buoy Base. It has a lot to do with swimming mechanics in this game.
Right, that swimming is super broken.
Yes, so when you're swimming underwater, you can just shake like as much as you want, and you will just kind of swim infinitely, even if you're running out of breath.
Right.
I think Seaslide 3, let's do this in. But there is a very unintended way you can do swimming, and it's called surface swimming. And essentially what it is it's a very self-explanatory name. You swim on the surface of the water, which normally you really should not be able to do, because usually when you reach the surface, this happens. You kind of just like jump up like that, and you go back down into the water. But there are 2 different ways to do it. There's the instant setup, and then the one that you kind of just do when you're improvising, and you're just shaking like a madman trying to get it going.
Okay.
Which we end up doing a lot, because the instant setup doesn't like to work sometimes. But essentially how it works is you long jump into the water, and pretty much as soon as Luigi enters it, you're going to be holding up on the control stick, and then you also want to be holding A or B or whatever your jump button is, because that gives you more distance on your swims, and it also allows surface swimming to happen in the first place. That's another thing about spins in general, is if you're holding the jump button, either as Mario or Luigi, it makes them go higher on their spins.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so when we enter the water...
That's not the penguin you were talking about, right?
This penguin? Oh no, this is not Task Penguin, no. That's all the way back in Buoy Base.
Oh, Buoy Base, right. Oh, Buoy Base. Thank you.
Yeah, there is another glitch that is, I I believe it's also TAS only. I don't think anybody's. I think one person has done it RTA, but it's not been in a run. It's called shore launching, which is essentially another version of the penguin thing, except you just use the water in general, and it just if you do some very precise stuff, again TAS only mostly. Nobody really does it, but it's a way to just kind of get a bunch of height. It's used like once in the entire game, and it's TAS only, so nobody really does it. Yeah, back to surface swimming. You're gonna long jump into the water, and pretty much as soon as you enter, you're gonna hold up and A and just start shaking, and then that will give Luigi a different kind of state when he's swimming, so you can't really move him at all. He's kind of just stuck going forward. And once you get into that state when you're actually under the water, you're going to go back to switching to holding down, and you want to be holding down until you get the surface swim. And if you miss the initial setup, you can just keep holding down on the control stick and swimming while holding B, and eventually, I believe it takes at max like 4 tries, you'll just get the surface swim, so anybody can do it. It's a very easy trick. Before that, I don't even know when this setup was found. I think it was like 2017 maybe, but before this, surface swimming was like very precise in getting it. And then I believe it was Joselle, who is another like really like old top runner of this game, found an actual setup to make it more consistent. So.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So here we go.
Go. Got it. Holding down.
It takes, and there you go. And then you go like crazy fast, and you're just like shaking like crazy. Wow. And you can just kind of skip over like the entire level.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you have to do it there? Like, does it stop you usually, and then you just start doing it again? Or
that's actually really interesting. This gate only stops you on the Switch version. Nobody knows why. The classic.
Oh.
Very. Yeah, that's like what we have to call a 3D All-Stars moment. There's a lot of those in this game. This emulation is just so bizarre sometimes.
Yeah.
When 3D All-Stars came out, actually, in Gusty Garden Galaxy in the Purple Coin mission, there were actually 3 purple coins that you couldn't get because they were clipped into a wall. They had to patch them out.
Oh my gosh.
They had to put them back in the level. So
oh my
shout out to Nintendo.
And emulation is not always perfect, including Nintendo trying to do it themselves. It happens.
Yeah, surface swimming is a pretty general thing. It's mostly used in Sea Slide, but there are different places you can do it in, like Beach Bowl Galaxy, buoy base if you really want to, but it's not really used too much. As you can see, I just got the instant setup there. Yeah, it's used in pretty much every star here except the first one, because the first one's just an auto-scroller. But it can get extremely tiring on your arm because you are just constantly shaking the entire time, especially in Sea Slide 2, where you race against all the different penguins, and that's about a 50-second long race, so you are constantly shaking for 50 seconds. It is
like
very
racing
tiring.
Canary Mary in Banjo-Tooie, if you played that.
I've played Banjo-Kazooie, not Tooie. So.
Okay, in Tooie you have this bird you have to race against up to 4 times in the game if you want to 100% it. And it's just mashing A, but it's not mashing A for 10 seconds like a Mario Party game. It's mashing A for like a full minute at a time.
Oh, God.
It's awful. Fortunately, you can like pause in the middle of it if you need to like rest your poor hand. But yeah, it's like that bad. So I get it.
Someone asked if you can just use the Y button to shake. Normally, yeah, you can just press Y on 3D All-Stars and it counts. But if you're doing surface swims, unless you are like the greatest masher on the planet, like it's not possible to mash fast enough to get surface swims and not have them last more than like a second. So shaking is just much more reliable.
So the timing doesn't work.
Like I can try it right now and it's probably not going to work.
Okay.
See, like it hardly even worked right there. And I got to the surface and it barely works at all. Whereas if you're shaking, it is a lot more consistent.
Oh wow, it's so weird that just all works.
Yeah, it's probably because shaking just counts as like multiple inputs, so you're just constantly doing it. Whereas you have to press Y one at a time, just really fast.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's it for surface swimming. I'm going to head into Gold Leaf Galaxy now for overall a pretty it's like the whole. I believe Gold Leaf 2 and 3 are the ones I'm going to be doing because both of those levels are very skip heavy, just jumping all over the place.
And for surface swimming, by the way, you were saying that it's useful in like the race and like, I mean, just getting through because that's like basically a big loop. Like I assume it just shortens the time to get to the next section of that.
Yeah. So there are different parts of Sea Slide 3, which is a Silver Star level, and the first one that you get is on that big stone arch that is at the beginning of the level, and you actually go to a cannon that's about like probably like 10 or 15 seconds away from you normally, but if you surface swim, you can get there in like 3.
Oh wow! Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's very fast. So Gold Leaf Galaxy has 2 stars that I want to show off. The first one is Gold Leaf 2. Yes, I'm playing on the Switch version. Yeah, Gold Leaf 2 involves Cataquax, which is everybody's favorite enemy from Super Mario Sunshine.
You're seeing chat like a second before I am. My goodness, Oddme's keeping better track of chat right now.
So yeah, we do use a Cataquac a couple times in this level actually, just for some minor stuff like getting up to this launch star here. You can just do a backflip and get up here just as easily, but the Cataquac gives you slightly more height.
Okay.
And then on this next planet, we're actually going to skip a bunch of Cataquacs. So we're going to go to this little cube planet here, which is ripped straight from Gusty Garden Galaxy. This whole level is a ripoff. It's literally Honey Hive Galaxy in reverse. So shoutouts to creativity. Yeah, we're going to jump all the way over here, which... oh, hello. Hi.
Hi.
Wiggler.
There you are.
Yeah, we're gonna... You can literally just do a long jump as Luigi, and it should get you over there very easily. Sometimes the gravity likes to do that and just, like, swap you back, but you can just do a backflip to back that up. And now we're going to do a triple jump over here to get to this M, which takes us to the end of the level. Usually the best way to do it is off of this part. You want to do a triple jump off of this part of the cube specifically, so that you're facing towards the M, because if you do it off of here, it like just doesn't work. You have to have a very specific placement for it, which makes this definitely one of the harder levels in the game, because there are just so many skips you do here that if you mess it up, it just loses you so much time, because you have to keep backing it up.
Oh, wow, okay.
Alright, so this is the triple jump. See, it swapped my gravity and it switched me back to the cube. That happens a lot on this one.
Weird.
Alright. And then you gotta change the camera a bunch to get it back to normal, but it's usually not the worst thing in the world. Yeah. You get right here.
Okay, so you got it.
And then this part, we go back to using Cataquacs the normal way. The gravity can be very bizarre here, but ideally you just long jump over here, and then get this guy's attention. Let's come over. Luigi, okay.
Here we go.
And then this planet has one final skip with the bee mushroom. I think this is actually the first time we're seeing it. You can actually triple jump over this right here and just grab it. Triple jumping off this ledge right here will nab the bee mushroom pretty easily.
No, we've done the whole bee honey hive.
Oh right, honey climb.
Yeah, yeah.
An entire level based around it.
Yes, it's like we've seen it once.
Short-term memory, amazing.
Yeah, mine's usually very bad.
Yeah, normal way you do this is to go up on that tower there and just fly on all these different flowers. Ow! Okay, these guys are mean. Okay. Go back, get the bee mushroom. Yeah, essentially you want to go over there and fly over there. But there are 2 ways you can do this. With Luigi, specifically, you can literally just jump off of this ledge and hold down and just fly all the way to the star. And
whoa! Oh, what?
That's literally just the end of the level with Luigi. As Mario, though, there is an alternate to it. For some reason, if you spin as you're like flying with the bee mushroom, it gives you a crazy amount of height if you touch something like this patch of dirt. So if you jump and go into bee mode and start flying, and you spin on the dirt, it will just shoot you up to actually, I haven't done this version in a while, actually, because I normally just do the Luigi version.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, if you do it right, that should happen, and it just takes you way up high to the star.
So that'll even happen with Mario. That's cool.
Yeah, that's how you do that with Mario, actually. You can't do the other version of this with Mario.
Right,
where
you wouldn't get enough height. Huh.
You cannot backflip to that star in the M planet. You have to use the Cataquack there. You actually can do this entire section without the bee mushroom, but it is extremely hard and it doesn't even save time. So it's mainly just for show. All right, next up is Toy Time Galaxy, which is another one of my personal favorites. This one is going to be at the very end of the level. It is called Armpit Skip, and you will very quickly see why once we get there.
I love that.
Yeah, Toy Time 1, the level itself, you actually skip the entire spring mushroom, which I'm sure everybody's very thankful for, because nobody likes the spring mushroom.
Wait, let's see it.
Yeah, very beginning is super basic. Just get to the launch star, and then I believe the spring mushroom is on the next planet, so there is some gravity stuff here that we can do, though. Just long jump over here, and then normally you have to go all the way over here and hit this corkscrew, and that will take you right here to where the launch star is.
Okay.
However, we can literally just do like a backflip wall kick, and it takes us right up to where it is.
Oh my gosh, what?
And then you just hit this, and it unlocks the launch star, and you can just long jump to it.
I like how they put things just close enough together where you can do this all the time.
Yeah, a lot of these skips do seem intentional to some degree.
Yeah. Dev root.
I'm playing in Korean because, well, one, I just didn't bother switching to English for the showcase, but it doesn't really matter.
2 minutes faster, we've learned today.
Yes, it is about 2 minutes faster than English when you're doing runs, and there is a Korean version of the Wii version of the game. However, people don't use it because there's no Korean virtual console version of the game, and the virtual console version of this game has way faster loads than a disc. 3D All-Stars actually has faster loads than that, so it's pretty nuts how fast 3D All-Stars is. But yeah, the fastest way to play the game on virtual console is in Japanese, so that loses about 25 seconds to Korean.
Oh, I see, on virtual console. Okay, so is this the current fastest version then, the Switch version?
Ideally, yes. If you are using only one, actually, yes. Just in general, the Switch version is the fastest. However, people like to play on Wii U Virtual Console more because of 2-player, which is a lot more convenient to use when you're using 2 Wii remotes rather than 2 Joy-Cons.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
I will be using 2 Joy-Cons when I show it off, but it's going to be a bit just less convenient. I actually do have my setup for Galaxy 2, because I do use 2-player. As you can see, I have 2 Wii remotes velcroed together with a rubber band wrapped around them. This is the ideal way to play Galaxy, everybody. This is the meta.
That's so funny. I love that a lot. But yes, yeah, faster text bubbles. Yeah, it's just more condensed text. Usually, you'll see this in a lot of games that are in different languages. They just have less text to share based on how the translation goes. And then often in Chinese and Japanese and Korean, sometimes, as we see here, like you just have more condensed text. Yeah.
Yeah, the text is shorter and it also just moves way faster. The English text in this game is so slow.
The actual movement speed of it showing up.
Yes, if you watch, I don't know if there's a comparison video out there, but if you ever watch like a side-by-side of an English run versus a Korean one, it's night and day. It's extremely slow.
Apparently we're just slow at reading, I guess.
Yep,
we are.
Yeah, you can just long jump over to this launch star. Another really small skip. Yes, downloading it from the Wii U eShop, which, since the eShop is closing down, we use other methods to get it, but I won't talk about that.
Yes, good call for this show.
But yeah, this next part is actually where we do skip the spring mushroom, because Luigi and Mario can do this just as easily. Obviously, you don't want to get this. Nobody likes this power-up. So I'm going to just hopefully get hit by this guy and lose it, because I don't like spring. Please let me lose it. Oh my god, hit me. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we never want to use. I think we used the spring one time in the entire game, and because it's required for like one purple coin in Beach Bowl.
Including 120, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So basically, how you skip the spring is you literally just chain long jumps together, and you can triple jump up here with so much ease because these ledges are super easy to grab. There is actually, this is not like a skip or a glitch or anything. It's just a little Easter egg I want to show off. This little crevice here, you might not really think to look here, but if you go in here and you go into first person, there's a tiny little train just sitting here.
Oh my gosh, I never knew that.
A lot of people do not know about this because it's just so hidden, but it is
That's so cute.
just a neat little Easter egg in this. But this is actually an intentional, you actually can't go into first person in the spring mode, so you have to skip the spring to see it. Yeah, Nintendo themselves encourages you to not use Spring Mario.
They're like, please don't. It's awful. We're sorry.
Yeah, you can just do more wall jumps and stuff. Literally anybody can do this stuff. It's like a lot of the skips in this game are super beginner friendly. You can just like back up here and then take this launch star and you're good to go. And now we're going to the really big skip that I'm very excited to show. This is one of my personal favorites.
I think a lot of people just don't realize the way that you can do the jump spin, wall bounce spin again and get like that extra height each time.
Yeah. Yes, you can get to the sub area up there without the spring mushroom. This entire level can be done without spring. Same with the rest of Toy Time Galaxy in its entirety.
As we've done so far, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Mecha Bowser. Very different than his incarnation in Sunshine. He's a big toy. So the normal way to do this is to climb up his legs here and corkscrew all these different screws here and just climb up the left side of him and go to the very top. Right. As you can see, there's a whole section up there. A lot of stuff to do. But we're not going to do any of that. We're actually going to go up the right side, which you're probably thinking, how in the world are you going to do that? Because there's no platforms or anything here. But when you long jump off, since this is the only part that shifts your gravity, it just kind of resets you to being right side up. So we're going to wall jump off here, or long jump off Mecha Bowser, and kind of weave around them to get this well-timed wall kick here. And what we're going to do is go under his armpit, hence the name Armpit Skip, and just wall jump off his arm and torso, just back and forth up to the very top. Definitely one of the trickier ones, but it takes pretty minimal effort, honestly, to get it pretty consistent. Definitely not like super hard, but not on the easy side either. Cool. And it saves a lot of time. You skip like going, as you can see, there's a whole section right there where you like unscrew everything on him and just like keep going up. It skips so much. It's probably around 30 seconds of time save.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I will try to show it off here. Okay, I don't know what I landed on. That's weird. Yeah, as you can see, we're just standing on his arm here. And you can...
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, this
is... made it up part way.
Yeah, and you can just like wall kick right here and land on that. But I want to show the full skip because it's a lot cooler than doing the backup.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get this. The cycles are a bit weird, so... There we go. And then we're just We're just right up at the top. And hey, look, another spring mushroom. We're not gonna get it. And you can just do more wall jumps and get up to the top of them and ground pound, and that destroys Mecha Bowser. And as you can see from this wide shot, that we just skipped like that entire section up top and off to the left. All right. Well, that was pretty much everything for Engine Room, I think. I do not think there's anything else here, except actually, Sand Spiral Galaxy has a little skip towards the end that I can show off. Not like anything super crazy, but it does skip using the power-up towards the end. You do have to use it like at the beginning, but towards the end of the level you can skip it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, there is one mandatory spring mushroom in Beach Bowl Galaxy. There's one purple coin up very high that you cannot reach without it.
Ah, that's a bummer.
It's so unfortunate. That's actually one thing that I will show off with 2-player is getting that purple coin, because it's a huge time save. You can go over there with normal Luigi and not have to use the spring for that purple. Alright, so Sand Spiral Galaxy. This is a really straightforward level for the most part, except for like one tiny skip towards the end, but it's pretty cool, and it saves like 2 seconds, so...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, normally, you either just choose the Boo or the Bee. The Boo is way faster for this, because you don't have a limit on how much you can fly. You just kind of float through this whole thing. Yeah, when you're playing as Boo-Ouija, as I like to call him, the Boos get attracted to him, and they kind of just home in on you. And if you get hit by one, you actually don't take any damage. You just kind of despawn.
You just revert, yeah.
So we're going to use these water bubbles here to get an extra spin and land on this blue part here, and just long jump straight to the end of the level and not have to use the Boo for the rest. It hardly saves time, but it looks cool, so that's all that matters. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. It's not like a super complicated one, but the timing on it can be kind of odd at times, so... Just wait for it to go, and then long jump, take the bubble, and then we get an extra shake, and then we just land here. And then we can actually long jump off of this tiny little thing and get straight to the end.
Oh, nice.
Just like that.
Oh, cool. And there you go.
And then the final section here, that has this whole conveyor belt thing, but you can grab this rainbow star and just long jump and skip like half of it. Just like that.
Oh my gosh, wow. So easy. Especially with having that rainbow star, because it gives you the extra speed, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think with long jumps, it doesn't give you much extra speed, but it does help a bit with like getting a running start.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right, so before we head to the final dome of the game, which is the garden, there is one in the observatory that I want to show off that has to do with the red star, which is a very underutilized power-up. This is like used twice in the entire game.
Interesting.
But there is a glitch you can do with it called fast flying, which is literally just like normally when you fly, you have a pretty set speed and it's kind of slow. Very free-form control, like it's very, very smooth. It's not like the wing cap or anything. But if you hold it A or whatever the jump button is, it kind of puts Luigi in a stationary position. And if you continue to mash, he just kind of goes way faster than he should, as you can see. He just goes way faster, and you can use this to like fly all the way up to the top of the observatory.
Earth? That looks so strange.
Yeah, because you're constantly going into the stationary position, but also, and whenever you reset back to flying, he does that. You're kind of just doing this the entire time.
Weird. That's so weird. I love it. Well.
Yeah, we actually used this about 3 times in this entire game.
Okay.
We use it for the Gateway Purple Coin Star, which is used for like the first 30, I think, and then we use it twice in the observatory to get to the engine room and the garden. Yeah, sometimes that can happen. You just lose all your speed for some reason. But... And now we are entering the land of Windows XP, the Garden Dome. Such a beautiful sight. Okay, so Deep Dark Galaxy. This is a skip that I'm very excited to show off because it is one of the biggest like actual glitches in this game. Like you go full out of bounds in this one.
Oh, I love it. Okay, perfect. This is the meat of the content we are here for today.
Yep. There's actually 2 in the garden that I'm going to be showing off. 2
oh, cool. Okay.
clips. All right. So Deep Dark Galaxy. The intended way to do this, as you can see, this gate is closed. So we want to go over there and get that fire flower and then light those torches to go down. And then we have to swim through this entire underwater section to get to the ghost ship and fight Camilla, who's the boss that was in Space Jump 2, where you can manipulate her cycles before the run. That can also be done in this star. So it takes quite a while to set up a 120 run compared to any percent.
Yeah.
So here we're actually going to be doing more slope jumps. We haven't seen these in a little bit. And you can actually, using these, you can get up to this part of the level, which you should not be able to access in Deep Dark 1. Because as you can see, there is like nothing here. This is all reserved for the second star. but everything is still like active. You can still spin in everything for some reason. There's just nothing in there. You can still go in this
other
pipe.
things like specifics haven't spawned in, like small items or
Yeah, in the second star there's like a bunch of flood water bubble shooters that take you to like all the next planets for the second star. They're like way off in the distance, you can see there.
Nice, okay. Instead.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna skip all that underwater stuff and go straight to the ghost ship, because the back of this rock here does not have any collision to it. The first parts of it do, so we're going to use slope jumps to get to the top, and then going to do a spin to get a bunch of height, and just go way behind the rocks, and that will take us sort of, like, it will take us out of bounds completely. We're going to be outside the level, and it'll land us on, like, some invisible water that we can use to swim to the ghost ship.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of hard to explain as I'm doing it, because if you're stationary for too long, you just end up falling and you just stay out of bounds and you can't save it. So I do have to swim pretty fast once I get there.
So yeah, so we're explaining it now, then you'll do it, and then you can explain anything else like within what you did after, right?
Yes.
Cool.
So yeah, we're doing slope jumps here, and see, as you can see, I'm getting kind of pushed by this invisible wall, as it doesn't really want me to go up here, obviously.
Yes.
But if you go onto this rock here, you actually bypass it. And this is the last part that has collision. This rock right here has literally nothing. So I'm just going to do this. And we clip out. And we are on invisible water. And then we just swim and we're at the ghost ship. It's very interesting.
That's awesome.
And then the level is literally just continue as normal. You fight the boss and you're done.
Oh my gosh, that's super awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest skips in this whole game, because
what
this
was that
level
called again?
It's just called Deep Dark One Out of Bounds. Very self-explanatory.
Yes.
But yeah, the whole rest of the level is normal. You just skip the entire thing to go here, but the rest of it's normal.
That's so cool though. Like to get over here.
Yeah.
I feel like Mario games are often a little bit less broken and just have a lot of unintended. Like you can just use the movement to your advantage for things, but cool to see when you can actually get out of bounds for stuff.
Yeah, unless that game is Super Mario Sunshine, in which case you could pick an object and you can just fall through it, because that game is great.
Yeah, I was not really thinking. I was not including Sunshine in that. That's like the exception.
Yeah,
sure.
as you can see, we skipped this entire gate opening. Like we literally can't go back because we got to the end of the level without doing any of this. So we're pretty much stuck.
Oh, right.
The switch is literally right there. So, yeah, we're stuck here with this gargantuan electric jellyfish. I don't even know. There he is. Yeah, that is one of two pretty big out-of-bounds skips I'm going to be showing in the garden. The next one is in Dreadnought Galaxy, which is a much cooler version of the Battle Rock Galaxy that we were in. So this is kind of making up for not showing off the Battle Rock out-of-bounds strat. This one is going to be in Dreadnought 2. There's a lot of skips here. One is not out of bounds, and the other one is very much out of bounds towards the end.
Okay.
So the first one here, you can literally just skip this corkscrew. That one's pretty straightforward. Normally you have to hit all these flip switches to despawn this gate here, but you can just do this instead. You just slide right under it. This isn't a clip or anything. Luigi just goes under the gate.
It's like not even. Wow. Okay. Yeah. There's another moment like that. Surprisingly enough, in Banjo-Kazooie, where there's like these fans, or like these like. It's like fan blades that would hurt you. Yeah, and you walk along a seam, and they just don't exist basically.
Yeah, you do have to hit these switches. Unfortunately, can't skip everything. Which opens up these corkscrews, and we're actually going to be doing another bridge skip here with these two octopus guys that we saw in Space Junk 1.
Oh, cool, okay.
I'm going to try to make this not move. Basically, they don't spawn until I actually get there, which makes the skip way tighter than the one in Space Junk, actually, which is already tight enough. And there's actually another invisible wall here, so it's going to push me a bit to the left once I get there. And I'm going to long jump off about the center of this corkscrew, which will spawn them. And I'm going to wall kick off and spin into the coconut as it fires at me. and I will kill that guy, and it will just land me on this platform, and I can just skip collapsing the bridge. So it's very similar to the one in Space Junk, because you're
to the other one, right?
Essentially doing the same stuff. It's just like slightly different.
Okay.
Just like that. And as you can see,
sweet.
we can literally just long jump over here and we skip the bridge.
That was fast. So it's not like that huge of it. It's not like a huge time save, but it's still cool to see as well.
Yeah, first time I learned that, I think I lost like 3 runs to it.
Oh no! Because you're trying to get in.
Yeah. All right, now this is the big thing. This is like the Dreadnought 2 skip.
Okay.
So this, you can actually skip a lot of the auto-scroller here without going out of bounds. You can just like jump on the edge of this platform and use your momentum to go over here. And then I have to pause here because my cycles will be kind of off if I don't. But if I long jump off the edge of this platform and spin at the right time, I'll actually switch gravity to the next platform. And then I have to jump off of it pretty much immediately, which is, again, why I'm pausing. Because if I stand there, it's going to start moving and it'll mess up the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm going to completely jump off the platform, just to my inevitable doom. And I will actually have enough momentum to just completely shift. And when I do a spin, I'm going to clip into like the whole background. As you can see, like this whole section right here, you can actually go inside it.
Oh, weird. Okay, cool.
And you literally just long jump straight to the end of the level.
You think you're gonna die and you don't.
Yep.
All right, I'm ready.
I died. Okay, that can happen.
Oh no!
That is rare.
But it's happened before. It's not the show title, right? We've had that. We've had people actually with it that's never happened before on the show.
I'm actually not sure if that's happened to me in particular.
Oh, we might have had it, everyone.
There we go.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
This is what's supposed to happen. You can literally just walk around this entire section. As you can see, there's like just ambient space back there.
They're like, why not? We'll just put a little collision here. It's cool.
So you want to long jump all the way to the right, and this is about the end of the out of bounds section. And you want to line yourself up with about this corner here. There's about 3 different visual cues I use for switching my controls. You're going to long jump down right to clip back out into the actual level, and then as soon as the gravity switches, you're gonna switch to right on your control stick. And then once you get towards the end of the skip, you want to spin and hold upright. It's a lot more complicated than it sounds. Because this skip took a lot of people like a long time to learn. It's so bizarre, like just learning this whole setup.
Yeah, I mean it's like multiple pieces all strung together, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and I believe it saves about 30 seconds. It's a pretty huge time save because you skip a giant auto scroller. This entire level is an auto scroller if you don't do the skip.
Right.
Which comes back in Dreadnought Purple coins, which you can't skip at all. You got to get everything. That's why everybody hates the level. All right, so I'm going to long jump down right, switch to right, spin, and then switch to upright. And best case scenario, I land on the upper platform, which will be right at the end of the level. There we go. That was way too far down, I think. That's not gonna work. Yeah. You can see the platform that I was supposed to land on there.
Okay, we get to see it all again.
Yeah, you can see the full thing in action now. I don't have to
here we go.
pause as much. Nice. It's going great. I love cannonballs. Depth perception, it can be the bane of your existence in this level. Especially when you don't have like the perfect cycles on them.
Right.
Okay. I just wait. There we go. Wait for them. Alright, there we go.
Nice.
There's the clip, and then I have to do the second part, which is by far the harder part of the skip. There we go. Got it.
Oh, sweet. Okay, and now you're on that second part.
And then you can long jump here, which takes you right to the last platform, and you just ride it to the end. This is the well, you technically can skip this part, but actually, I think I'll try to show it off. Okay, you're supposed to wall jump off of that platform there.
Yes.
And
you just have to like.
It's a super precise angle, especially when you're on the Switch version when you don't have notches.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's one of the things about having those controllers is if you don't have the notch, so close.
I'll try it one more time, and then
Sure.
I will move on to the next one, which is actually Dreadnought 1. Not nearly as cool of a glitch as this one, but it does have a pretty neat strat at the end.
Yeah, that was awesome. Anytime, again, getting out of bounds in a game like this is awesome.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that, ironically, that entire skip I just did is easier than that strat. This whole level is just so many difficult skips all wrapped into one.
Yeah, sometimes the things that seem the hardest are actually the easiest and vice versa. And so this is kind of an interesting example of something similar to that, all wrapped up in one level.
Yeah. All right, now Dreadnought 1, there's some more pretty cool gravity skips we can do here. The main thing comes at the end, though, because there used to be, like, I mean, there was already a way to make the ending of the level a bit faster, but I believe it was actually last year sometime, somebody found a much faster version of it, and it looks cooler, so best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can completely skip that laser guy just by doing a double jump. That's how broken Luigi is.
It's so much height.
And then you just kill these guys. This is fully intentional.
Yep.
Alright, now in this 2D section, we can actually skip like everything involving gravity switches here. Because as you can see, there's a 1-up like on the side there. You're supposed to hit like a bunch of different arrows and switch to gravity and come back for it. Kind of an Easter egg almost. Like I feel like they don't intend you to get that 1-up.
Right.
So instead of switching all the gravity, which I believe you have to go all the way over here for, yeah, you go over there and you hit that arrow, which kind of switches to gravity, and you have to go like all the way in a circle and make your way to a pipe that is right up there.
Sure.
But with a well-timed triple jump or backflip, I'm just gonna get this so it doesn't interrupt me. You can actually wall jump off of this and just go straight into the pipe without switching any gravity.
Oh, wow.
Like this. Just like that.
It like auto-switched for you once you got high enough.
Camera likes to auto-adjust when it does things you don't like. Or when you do things it doesn't like. You can just skip everything here as well just by backflipping.
Wow.
Alright, and now the ending of the level is something that I really like doing this strat because it just looks so cool, the amount of distance you can get from one backflip sometimes.
Cool. Okay.
I have to explain it before I get to it because I have to basically go for it immediately. Otherwise it will not work.
Sure.
Basically, there's going to be a bunch of laser pointers that will like turn around and start trying to electrocute me, and they all have platforms on top of them that you can actually ride. So I'm going to triple jump on top of one of them using some extra height that I gained from like a pretty wonky triple jump. And I'm going to just walk to the edge of that and backflip, and it will take me right to the star. So yeah,
oh, wow.
I'm going to try.
Of course it will. Of course it will. I should know better.
As you can see, they're right there, and they're going to flip over,
here we go.
and then I'm going to try and triple jump on top of the one that's right above the sling star. Yeah, now I'm on top of it. I can literally just stream. Somebody said F.
Uh-oh. Yeah, stream. Yeah, hang on.
Monka.
It might not be on us. It might not be on our end. Your stream okay?
I'm not dropping frames, no. I've dropped 0.
Might be Ray. Ray? Wonder if they've lost internet?
Still in the call, at least.
Okay, we're back.
We're back. Hello?
We're back.
Back? Okay.
Yeah, I see the thing. Okay, so
All right, we're good. Okay, good.
how long was it down, chat? It looked like it was down for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I thankfully it was right before I did this. So, that's never happened before, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
seriously. Okay, I'm just chatting with the producer, everyone. No worries. Everything
Right.
seems fine. So I don't think it was. I don't think it was on our end. Everything's good. Do you need us to redo? Do we need to redo this? Maybe.
I think I can actually go back up to it. Hold on. So
Yeah, if we can redo. We need to think about like 30 seconds before this in game what you would have been.
All right. Well, I think I can. I think the last 30 seconds I just explained what I was gonna do. I think I can explain it from here and just like make it back up because this thing isn't
flipped over, and he's gonna try to triple jump onto the top of one of the platforms, and it's gonna help get ahead of the game, basically.
Yeah. So basically, these guys flipped over, and they actually have platforms you can ride. Right there, they have collision and stuff. So I'm going to. Hopefully my cycles aren't messed up too bad. So ideally you do this as soon as you land, and you can just go there immediately. So
yeah, if we need to do it again, we can too.
Yeah.
We can.
So I'm gonna try and get the triple jump now, and then I'll explain what happens once I get there. Okay, I've never wall kicked there before. Usually if you miss that, you just slide down. I've never seen a wall kick.
Wait, so that's never happened before?
That has never happened before. All right, got it. Nice. Okay, so now that I'm up here, you might be thinking, how are you going to get to the star from here? So literally all you do is you turn around and you backflip, and this happens.
What?
Just takes you right to the star.
That's amazing. Hello? Are we back down? Are we still down? Are we down again?
Oh God, I hope not.
Okay, no, we're good. Okay. Look, stream's buffering for me, but everybody else is fine. Everything else seems fine. So I was just making sure. Okay, we're good. We seem good.
All right. So I think the last couple skips should be in a Melty Molten Galaxy.
Sweet.
There's one in Melty Molten. Actually, there's a couple in Melty Molten 2, and then another one in the third star. Yeah, the second one, the beginning of it is pretty straightforward, but there's one coming up afterward called the Single Jump of Death, I like to call it, because you literally do a singular jump, and you're able to skip an entire 2D section. And for some reason, Nintendo doesn't want you to skip it with a long jump. If you try the long jump, I'll show it when we get there, but if you try to skip the upcoming planet with a long jump, there's a giant gravitational pull that just ends up killing you. But if we do a single jump, it still works for some reason.
What?
So Nintendo couldn't completely stop us.
So they tried.
Yeah,
do it our way.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the long jump here, and it pulls me back in, so I literally can't do it.
Oh wow, okay.
And so instead, we're gonna do a single jump, and I might still die here because this is a pretty difficult one. The timing has to be really close to the black hole.
Can you get enough height from here?
Yes, you literally
enough speed.
Yeah, you do get enough speed and height from the starting position.
Okay.
Yeah, you literally just walk off and you do a single jump, and then you do a well-placed wall kick, assuming your timing was right, and you can just spin back into the launch star. And this doesn't save a whole lot of time because this planet is incredibly small, but you don't have to wait on the thwomps and everything.
Sure.
All right, bonk there. Yeah, the timing is very tight for the spin.
I want to start you right here.
Boom. Right
there.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, it doesn't lose much time if you mess it up because it literally spawns you right at that.
Right where you need to be. Time save is a time save, like that.
Yeah, and this whole planet you can just kind of do some small skips like lava bouncing and stuff, but more so it's just going fast movement wise. And the next skip coming up here is doesn't really skip the planet itself. It's more just a way to do it a little bit faster with some gravity stuff. But I'm going to do a triple jump off of this side of the planet, and it's going to take me to where the bullet bill is. And then I'm going to backflip back to where I just was, and the bullet bill will follow me back to the glass. And normally you have to walk around the entire
U-shape and then back.
the entire thing and just go back. But hopefully my little fire guy cycles will not be messed up, because these guys can really mess up your movement. You can just backflip here and then long jump off this, get hit because you backflip. Because Luigi Rui likes to backflip instead of long jumping because he's a great character. That's one bad thing about Luigi's acceleration is if you try to long jump immediately, he just does a backflip because he doesn't go to his top speed fast enough. So you really have to wait sometimes. Yeah, I will try that again.
And there
I got hit by. That's what I'm talking about with the fire dudes. They just love to mess you up. Let that guy die, and then spawn the next one. There we go.
There you go.
And then he just hits the glass. And the next part of the level is literally just rolling a ball, which I guess I'll show because everybody loves these kind of levels in Galaxy.
Yeah! Show us how fast you go!
You can literally just steamroll right to the end. My cycles are probably gonna be extremely off because I died, but we'll see what happens.
It's fine, you can make it.
There we go.
It's so easy. I was always so nervous about doing these sections.
Oh yeah, they are extremely hard.
Doesn't look like it.
Alright, well listen, that section, when you're on the cutscene cycles, because when you first start a level in this game, you can't skip the intro cutscenes, you actually have to you have to jump on this platform as it's going up the side, and that cycle is extremely hard to make.
It's much more difficult. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was not being sarcastic when I said that.
Okay. You know, it's hard to tell because it looked like such a breeze.
Yeah, this game is free, actually. Like, it's so easy.
You heard it here first. This game is free.
Okay, so Melting Molten 3 is actually where we're going to be seeing another lava boost, like we saw in Freeze Flame 2. I'm actually gonna... This isn't... At the beginning here, this isn't really more of a skip. It's just another little neat thing with momentum and rising platforms, kind of like with the Thwomp and Buoy Base.
Right.
If you...
So everyone's gonna go after this. They're gonna turn on their Switches and get out their copies of Mario Galaxy and be like, I heard it was free, I'm gonna do it now. Everybody's gonna start to speedrun it. Everybody watching a YouTube video.
You too can do this. It's so easy. Yeah.
All
so
right,
these platforms, the timing for them is a bit weird because they kind of rise up immediately after you jump on them, but just like that, ideally if you land on them and then backflip or jump immediately, you can just get some extra height on your jumps like that. Yeah, that's a neat little thing. You can actually use it to wall kick off of that and reach the very top if your angle's good enough. But here's a lava boost right here. So the normal way to do this is to go to this planet here and kill all these fire dudes, and that takes you to this planet.
Sure.
But we're going to skip that completely and just lava bounce over here and get sucked into this planet's gravity, and it's just going to pull us right in.
Cool.
So you literally just walk off here and long jump, spin, and after 2 bounces, it should take you right there. Just like that.
Oh, wow. Gosh, it seems like it's so much farther away.
Yeah, there are some planets in this game that just have ridiculous gravity pulls.
Yeah, it just seems like it shouldn't work, but then suddenly it does. So wild.
And then the wheel planet here is really fun to optimize the cycles. Not really any skips here, just cool movement. 2D sections in this game can actually be kind of fun compared to the 3D stuff. But
yeah, for sure.
I vastly prefer the 3D movement, obviously.
Right. But it's like, even when some people prefer like floodless levels of Sunshine, I don't casually, but a lot of people like the movement in those, which I get.
Yeah, the floodless levels are definitely one of my favorite parts, but I just love Sunshine's movement in general.
Yeah.
All right, I think that is about everything that I have to go over. Let me check my list.
We have like having a completed file for this just helps save so much time.
Oh yeah, if I was going from a new file, and we're about what 240 in right now, I would be just about done with the any percent run.
Well, actually, we're only about 2 hours into the timed part.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's also including like the intro, the lead up to like the countdown to the stream and the intro and the break. No wild.
Okay, so I would be about 40 stars in if I was doing 80%.
It's so different. So having a completed file was perfect for the showcase.
there is. I think I can show some stuff in the final Bowser level actually.
Sure.
Just
Let's do it.
to end things off.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good way to wrap it up. Let's go.
So yeah, the very beginning of this level has some pretty cool cycles you can make with the spotlights that will show up. So I'm not gonna start the level just yet. But essentially how they work is if you do a jump as you're leaving one and your gravity switches, it gives you way more height than it should. And you can just kind of like jump up to the top of the mini castle that's there and reach a very early cycle, which I will try to show off. But the main skips come from the very end of the level with all the bullet bills flying everywhere. Yeah, see if I can get the cycle here.
Here we go.
I didn't get the height I initially wanted there, but still good enough. You can just long jump over here and skip all these lights.
That's awesome.
And then you can wall jump up here to get just barely enough height to reach that cycle.
Hit that just in time, yeah.
And then you can grab that one and just... And on this lava planet here, if you try to long jump straight down, there's a giant invisible wall there that blocks you.
Oh, wow.
But Nintendo failed once more, because if we long jump down left, we can just bypass that completely and skip this whole section.
So good. And you're like, yeah. You're like, well, they're just going to try to go straight down to this because that's what they can see.
Yeah.
And
then
who would lava boost?
Yeah, the ice skating section is pretty straightforward. You can just kind of avoid skating on this whole thing.
What?
And you just go up here, and again, you pretty much skip every single planet in this level, because like with the sand planet, you just go over this whole section, and you just go to the next one.
I love this. Like I've watched runs and 602s and things, but I just feel like it's fun to see it in this context. It helps it stick way better in your mind.
Yeah. The next planet is the big one. We're pretty much going to be damage boosting everywhere and just skipping all the bullet bills that show up.
Okay.
So honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's mostly just movement, but there are actual like skips here. Like after this swamp, I'm just gonna long jump here, and like that skips basically all the moving platforms and stuff. And I'm going to drop into the lava here, which actually lets me use my invincibility frames to clip through the bonsai bill. And you can land on top of the bullet bill blaster, and you can actually just long jump straight to the end here.
That's so cool. I didn't realize you could. It's got easy closing for that.
I'll do the Bowser fight. Yeah.
Let's do it. We gotta actually beat the game now.
Actually, there is one last thing before the Bowser fight that I love showing off. It's such a neat. This is actually Kung Fu, something that doesn't apply to speedruns, because if you do this glitch, you can't start the Bowser fight. So
yay!
I will actually
better!
I'll actually have to like take an intentional death to restart the fight after I do it.
Perfect.
So when you when you get to I believe it's this step right here, the cutscene will start, which will make Bowser Jr. start shooting cannonballs at you. Might take me a few tries to skip it, but I'm going to stand on like the very edge of this and long jump, and if I wall jump on this corner here and then land on this upper step, that skips the cutscene, which also skips the cannonball section, and it makes everything up there just not active at all. So once I get up to Bowser, the fight doesn't even start. So I can.
You can just go like hang with Bowser.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go hang with Bowser.
Okay, I missed it. If I miss it, I can literally just die and it takes me back to Bowser. So it's not like a huge time loss trying to set it up again. Yeah, the wall kick.
We gotta get it. We have to get this now. Now that we know about it, I have to see it.
I will try until I get it. All right, I got the thing, and this. Why did it still trigger? Hold on. I think I have to be like slightly more left. I believe it's something like that. It's the spacing for it is not entirely consistent sometimes.
Right, because I mean, this isn't something people do very often.
Okay, I should be good now. Yeah. Okay. So I skipped the cutscene, and as you can see, there's no cannonballs firing or anything. Stairs aren't collapsing. And normally, when you get up to Bowser, the fight starts. This big dramatic cutscene, and the whole thing starts. And you gotta fight him. So when you go up here instead, you can't really do anything, but you can go right through him. You can just And his head does some
He's
really
still looking at you.
his head does some really bizarre things. His head is like the only part of his body that's modeled. Bowser chat. Bowser wants to know if you got games on your phone. Staring right at you.
He's saying, chat. What's the last Mario game you played?
Yeah, Bowser's hair.
Bowser. Is his tongue going through his teeth? What's happening there?
Oh God, it is.
Sorry.
Bowser doesn't have good dental insurance, I guess.
That hair has got some serious like bouncy gel in it or something.
Oh yeah, Bowser's hair is easily the most well coated part of every Mario game. And one other weird thing is Bowser Jr. is wearing 2 binkies or whatever it's called. His little scarf thing. He's wearing 2 of them.
Oh, that's so funny. He does have one over his face and one over his chest.
And you
Just
can
go
really
hang with Peach. Can you get on there? Is there any collision?
There is no collision in the airship, so you cannot get to Peach, unfortunately.
Aww.
Peach does not have...
I'd rather hang with Bowser anyway.
I've never seen this, but Peach does not have any pupils in this state, I think. That is terrifying. Okay, I think they're loading in slowly.
Wait. Yeah, can we get any closer and see? Can you like move a little bit closer and see if it'll still show?
Okay, I think they're there now, but
oh, that's awful. That was awful.
there is something like that where if you go into first person, Luigi's model just kind of like dematerializes and he turns into this weird state where he doesn't have any pupils.
Yeah, I see it.
So weird.
Oh, that's so strange.
But yeah, as you can see,
I love it.
Airship has no collision, so we cannot go save Peach early. Peach has collision though. Okay.
Wait, Peach had collision?
Yeah, I for some reason could not move through Peach, but I could move
Can we
through
wall
the
jump
airship.
off of her?
No, I tried. I could not.
Okay.
Right. Now we will do the real thing. We will
okay.
go fight Bowser.
I love just
and finish
hanging out with
things off.
Bowser though. That was fantastic.
Ow. Okay, come on.
I love that.
Now the cutscene is here, and we cannot. Bowser moves back for some reason when we start the cutscene. Don't know why. You can really just bask in the size of how much bigger Bowser Jr. is than Peach for some bizarre reason.
Well, it's, it makes sense to me. Bowser's kid.
I mean, in size proportions with the Bowser family has never made sense in these games. Bowser,
Yeah, they really don't.
like, in the final battle in Sunshine, he's gargantuan for some unexplained reason. So for the first phase of this Bowser fight, he rolls into his rock form, and you have to hit him in the face, kind of like the red spots on the actual rocks. And to do that a bit faster, you can literally just jump and hit him as soon as he starts rolling, like this.
Oh, nice. Okay.
This fight has 3 phases to it. The first 2 are unique to this fight, and the last one is the traditional Bowser fight from the previous 2 in this game. Just hit him with this plant here, and he just goes spinning instantly. And you just do that once more once he gets back up. Nice little spawn kill here.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, and then I'm finishing on 69 star bits. Love to see it.
Perfect.
And then you get one of the best songs in the game, the final Bowser theme. So right here I'm actually going to take damage on these shockwaves here, which cancels his spinning animation and just makes him jump on me immediately. And the goal for these Bowser fights is the same as the previous 2. You just want to make him hit the blue dome and catch on fire. So you hit him in the tail, and you just hit him as he spins. And for this next final hit, I'm going to spin him into his tail so he rolls earlier. And I'm going to hit a fireball, which will cancel his spin and make him jump a bit earlier. Okay, he actually hit both fireballs, so I could not show it off. But if you hit if you take damage on a Bowser fight, essentially while he's doing that, he just stops and jumps on you immediately. So it's a good time save.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep, and then just get 2 more hits, and that is it. That is the final Bowser level. Time is not for another 40 seconds technically, but
Oh, right. That's true.
you gotta grab the actual
Almost
star.
time. Right, you actually have to pick up the
Yeah,
star.
that was-
I guess that's important.
Yeah, that went a lot better than I was expecting. I'm glad I was able to show off a nice little glitch towards the end there, as long as
Right.
as well as all the other skips I was able to do throughout the game. The time that comes up when I touch the star.
Here we go.
And
it's so pretty and clear.
Time. As it,
Like, you got it before time. Yay! That was awesome. Love seeing it.
yeah,
Love it. This is like...
I really hope this showcase, even though it was not like a full any % speedrun, I didn't go through all the levels. I hope this at least inspires people to, if not speedrun the game, at least just turn it on if you have it on the Switch or the Wii or Wii U or whatever, and just try some of these out, because a lot of these, despite having super complicated explanations at times, can be pretty self-explanatory. Like, you can get the hang of them pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like, most of the stuff I did here, you could probably master within like 5 to 10 minutes, honestly.
Oh, cool. I mean, yeah, there's just a lot. It's just accessible. There's a lot of like accessible things that you could do, or at least try, which you got to see here, which is awesome.
Yeah. If you want to get into speedrunning this game, just know it is very long. It is a very long game. Any % is about 2.5 hours at like a decently high level. 3 hours if you're like just getting started. And if you want to speedrun Galaxy 2, it's even longer. 3 hours is like the good, like the really top time in Galaxy 2. So
3 hours
yes,
for Galaxy 2, yeah. And then if you want to do, 120 star, 242. Those
oh yeah, 242 in Galaxy 2 is 9 hours. So
yes. And what's 120 in this game?
the record is just over 5. It's a 512 by Jay.
512. Okay. Yeah, between 5 and 6, I was thinking. Cool. So yeah, it takes some time, but still just like a fun game, and you have like a lot of chill moments and then some fun tech that you've seen here, a lot of like gravity stuff that we've gotten to see. How much can you do on the Switch version? This is the Switch version that we've been seeing. So
oh my god, I literally just forgot to show off co-star mode.
Oh yeah, we have a little bit more to do.
Yeah. So back on 3D All-Stars, we're not playing Sunshine, sorry guys. Real quick, I completely forgot about this. Sorry to all the 2P runners, but yeah, the game in Korean is called Super Mario Wii, for those who are wondering. Very interesting.
Love that.
All
okay,
right.
we have more. It's a little bit more going on.
So this is little post showcase stuff. So
Let's go.
let's hope my second Joy-Con is actually charged. I really hope it is.
Okay, we got the time.
That would be ideal.
Wait, second or third Joy-Con?
Second for the 2-player stuff, third overall.
Yes, okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
All right, so go into co-star mode here, and just gotta actually connect the controllers. Come on.
So how does 2-player work for this for like a run?
So as I explained earlier with the Wii remotes, ideally you would use the Wii remotes strapped together.
Right.
And basically what that does, as you'll see very quickly here, is it gives you 2 cursors. One for like just your overall Luigi movement and stuff. Like this is all being done on the first player. And the second cursor, which is done with my extra Joy-Con here. And I guess on the Switch version, the setup for it's a bit more complicated because the Joy-Con are so much smaller, but you would ideally have them like kind of like this, and you would kind of Velcro them together and stuff like that. Velcro is a Galaxy speedrunner's best friend in these times.
Okay.
Yeah, so the main...
Love it.
There's 2 like main things that 2P gives you for an advantage. There's just more star bit grabbing, because when you press the jump button with the second controller, there's this big circle that forms around it, which can stun enemies, and most importantly, it grabs star bits, and it makes the hitbox a lot bigger, so you can just get way more star bits. However, the really big advantage that comes from 2-player is called the 2P jump, which you can do this 2 different ways. You can do it on the ground, which does that. It's about the same height as a backflip, except you can do it literally on the fly. You can just do it while moving.
Oh, cool. Okay.
However, there is the unintended version of this jump that Nintendo, like I'm confident that this was not supposed to be in the game, but the ground to 2P jump is normal because you can hear the little sound it makes when you do it. But this actually, you can do it in midair. You actually have I believe it's a 7-frame window to do this in midair, So you want to spin and do a homing ground pound in the air, and as soon as you do your homing ground pound, you want to press the jump button on the second Joy-Con or Wii Remote, whatever you're using. And if you do it correctly, this might take me a few tries. It does that. It gives you another jump in the air.
Yeah.
And that can be used in a bunch of places to make some skips easier, do some skips that you literally can't do in the first place, 1P. And I did want to show off skipping the spring in Beach Bowl Purple coins, so we will go there real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. Awesome.
Yeah, you can use it like right here to go up to the kitchen, like that.
Oh, sweet. Easy peasy.
So yeah, as you could guess, a lot of the top runners have started to use two-player over the last like year or so, just because of the sheer amount of time it saves from doing 2P jumps and all that.
Is it counted on the same leaderboard, or is it a separate category?
It is the same leaderboard, yes. There's no separate leaderboards or anything.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I believe the one-player record for 120 star in this game is a 521, and the two-player record is the current record, which is a 512. So that kind of gives you an idea.
Wow.
It doesn't save 9 minutes overall, but it does just contribute a lot to that time save.
Right. It's part of that.
Yeah, it's probably about like 2 to 3 minutes over the course of a 120 star run, if I had to guess.
Right.
So, if you're using one player, you cannot do this. You cannot skip the spring. You have to use the spring and get this purple coin, which is all the way up in the sky here. Obviously, you cannot get that with a normal jump, but you can see its shadow, actually. But if you do a well-timed 2P jump, you can just barely nav it. Come on, Luigi.
I see. Okay.
I think you actually have to do a triple jump to make this. It's still pretty precise, even with 2P. Just like that.
Oh, wow. There it is.
Yeah, it's so crazy that 2P can just do all this insane stuff.
Yeah, as long as you said within a 7-frame window to get that second jump.
I believe it's about 7 frames. It's kind of precise. And unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that you can do with two-player, if you, like the exclusive 2P strats, if you miss them, it usually results in a death because you're doing them over a huge gap a lot of the time.
Right, sure.
Yeah, you can basically do it out of like any jump, backflip, as long as you can do a spin out of it. Like, I literally just got up there with no effort. Like, you can just get up to this top shelf.
Wow.
Yeah, it's extremely broken in some cases.
Wow. Right, usually you do like backflip, like wall jumps and stuff, right? After that.
Yeah, and yeah, it can do other things like stun enemies and stuff. I don't really think there's anything to show off for that here, but I think you can. Oh, you can mess with penguins.
Oh, that's really cute. Oh.
Yeah, that's the two-player part of the showcase. There's a lot more I could go over, but there is so much that like I haven't really done much practice with 2P overall. I'm much more of a one-player runner.
Sure.
So there's a lot more stuff I could go into, but a lot of it's just extremely like kind of niche stuff, honestly, compared to the big stuff that I already showed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the overall Galaxy showcase.
So that would be like this purple coin right here is one of the most obvious things you can do with it.
Yes, it's one of the biggest time saves for sure because of how slow the spring is. It probably saves like over 10 seconds just in this one level.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Sweet. Well, thank you so much for showing us all of this and including, of course, the second controller because that definitely seems like it has several minutes of added speed. It's been awesome. Love learning about all this stuff. Love seeing Galaxy with like actually some out of bounds movement. And of course, getting more Mario content on the stream. So you did a great job, Oddme. I really appreciate it. And for those out there watching who enjoyed the show today, please, please, please go follow Oddme. Where can we follow you? What are you doing? What other like social medias do you use? You know, what do you have coming up? Tell us all about it.
So pretty much all my social medias are oddme_, ODME with an underscore at the end. My long-term goal is to get rid of that underscore at some point in the future. It will happen. But yeah, I try to stream as often as I can. I don't really have a set schedule, but usually every day to every other day, I will be doing some sort of Mario speedrun. I actually specialize in all these games, not just Galaxy, because I do a race twice a year called the 602 race, which is Super Mario 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine 120 star all back-to-back, plus Galaxy 2, 242 star right after that. It's about 19 and a half hours for me. It's a gigantic race. A lot of people do it every time.
Have you ever done the is it like the 1872?
Yes, I actually did an 1862 about
62.
three months ago, and I got the record for that by about 2.5 hours. I think my time was 31 hours and 54 minutes.
Oh my
that was
gosh.
all in one sitting. That was the 602 with 3D World 380 stars and Odyssey all moons after that. So
Yes.
it's a monster run that I am never doing again.
So you did it one time and that's it.
Yeah, 602 is good enough for me.
Yeah, what's if you do all the any percents, how many stars is that?
It's about 246 minimum is the name of the category. It's 64 is actually 70 star, just to kind of balance it out, because any percent in that game is technically 0 star, and people
Right, but they do 70 star. But then for what if you did an any percent including 3D World and Odyssey?
I think I've done that, and I think it took me about 10 hours and 45 minutes around was my time.
That's not as bad, honestly.
Nowhere near as bad. One thing that I did actually want to shout out is starting in September, the Multi-Mario community, multiple Mario games, will be hosting a tournament called the 3D Mario Madness Invitational. It has 32 of the best multiple Mario runners, including myself, in it. And the basis of how it works is essentially you have all these different categories to choose from, all of them from the 3D Mario games, any percent, 64 or 70 star, just like in the multi-game run. And two racers race, and it spins a wheel to determine which one you actually get. And whichever category it lands on, you race that category. And it's completely random.
Wow.
So if you have like an edge over somebody in one game, then you have a huge advantage. But it's, again, random. And you can actually ban certain games from being ran. So it's a really neat concept. It was already done once back in March. I took the win.
Nice. Congrats. Amazing.
Hoping to do it again, but the competition is a lot more heated this time around. So it'll be exciting to watch. If you want to follow the stream that it will be streamed at, it will be twitch.tv/602race. Caps doesn't really matter, I guess, since Twitch, but yeah, 602 race. That's also where other multi-Mario events are streamed, like the stat stream for 602 races and stuff like that. Yeah, that's starting September 1st, I think, is when races will start being scheduled. Yeah, if you want to tune to that and see more multiple Mario games content, be sure to follow that stream. Yeah, I pretty much just run all these games whenever I can. I have been doing it for almost 8 years now. So
A big sigh that goes with that. But hey, it seems like it's just something that you love and you love being a part of and doing and all of that, which is great.
Yep, very much enjoy it. Yeah, thanks Kung Fu again for having me. I know I was kind of a last minute addition to the show, but I'm glad I was able to.
We had some schedule changes and Oddme was able to step in, and I was so excited because I was like, this is a perfect type of person who has all this experience to come on and help break some stuff down. So I was really happy about that. Huge appreciation. Please, everybody here, go follow Oddme. You saw all of the skill, all of the technique, the breakdown here on the show tonight. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of That's Never Happened Before. Feel free to check us out. We are every other Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And this next upcoming show, when we would have it, would actually be during Flame Fatale. So I want to tell you about that for a second. It is a all-women online speedrunning marathon hosted by Flame Fatale. We are benefiting Malala Fund once again, which is great. Love working with Malala Fund, getting to talk to them. I do interviews with them, which opens almost every day for this upcoming marathon as well. You can catch me in the pre-show. I'll be hosting, and there's some wonderful, amazing runs I'll be talking about during the pre-show. So excited. So make sure to check that out. So that'll be happening during when you'd usually catch this show for the next episode, and then we'll be back the following 2 weeks after that. We also have another one and done-a-thon coming up. That's really soon. That's in just a couple days, August 13th and 14th. It's like a marathon where you can show off your favorite run, and you just do it that one time in the one and done-a-thon series, which is cool. So those are great chances to see some really cool runs there. And then I already talked about our highlights channel earlier. And thanks for all your subs and prime subs and bits and all that stuff. It helps support our weekly hotfix content. So you all are great. K-pop love heart for you, or regular heart, whichever you prefer. I do both. I like both Yeah, and then you can check out tomorrow night starting at 10 p.m. Eastern. Looks like we just have our later shows for these couple of days. 10 p.m. Eastern is random number generation, so please go check that out. It's all about, randomizers. It's great. Maybe we do start at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and then we have aimbot after. So yeah, I think we have both shows. 7 p.m. Eastern. Good stuff. Go check that out, please. And we will see you all next time. I'll see you in a month for That's Never Happened Before, or in 2 weeks for Flame Fatale. So please check out the marathon, and thank you all so much for watching. Go follow Oddme, and take care and have a great rest of your night. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.